Last night, a gunman opened fire on a large crowd at a country music concert in Las Vegas, Nevada. He brutally murdered more than 50 people and wounded hundreds more. It was an act of pure evil.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. Gonna stand my ground, won't be turned around. And I keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around. Well, I'll stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. No, I won't back down.
Welcome back to another Wednesday stream. It's 8 Eastern, which means it's time for the Reality Skewed Gamer crew to bring you the latest and greatest on all the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news. I am one of your hosts, Ranger J1999 from Team Instinct, and of course, joining me on this epic journey is the cast and crew you've come to know and love. Joining me on this epic journey tonight will be, of course, Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman, the Troll Extraordinaire, who will not only be trolling you in chat, but he will also be joining us in the live stream. It will be social tonight. What's going on, Finn-a-Doodle?
It's a 360 trolling experience.
That's right. When you can't troll just one way, troll all the ways. That's what I say. Also join us on his trip to his next event is Mr. Sir Loki, the lightsaber builder extraordinaire, who's somewhere in the mountains of Nevada, I think. Loki, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, Ranger? I am en route to Boulder City, Nevada. Yes.
That's right. He's got a competition. We wish him well. But he's going to lose to the AMU.
I will lose to the AMU, yes.
I thought you said EMU. I'm like, how the hell is he going to lose to an emu?
Well, that's what happens when you don't pay attention, Finn.
Not the emu.
Yeah.
The Army Marksman unit.
I know. If you lose to an emu, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I don't know how you lose to I don't even know how that would work mechanically. So, yeah, if that happens, let us know, Loki, and then Finn will stand corrected. We will all stand corrected, and Finn will be right. Yes, but thank you. See, that's the kind of dedication you have from us in the RSG crew. You got Loki in the middle of the wilderness, in the woods, in the mountains, driving by himself on a long, cold, lonely road. And he's still here joining us. I don't know if Grande, Pappy Patron, the AKA the Wi-Fi government stealer, AKA the Shiv extraordinaire, will be here. He might be, so we'll wait to see if the Brown Gandalf joins us. He may or may not. He's got a lot going on with his family and stuff, and we understand. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Let's get all the mechanics out of the way. You can see we got the video of the week. We got Rebels coming in 2 weeks, so we thought with the Thrawn event coming about, which we will talk about, that we do that. Then we got our little funny image for the week. Of course, we've got our donors from last week. We had a lot of donations. Speaking of donations, if you would like to donate and support the channel, besides just subscribing and liking the videos, then just donate. You can donate in the super chat function. You can donate anything you'd like. We use all that money to make the channel better, improve what we're doing. Everything goes back into the channel, and commissary privileges for Grande, of course. That's important too. I mean, he needs his sugar and hot sauce because he can trade that inside. See, that's a prison thing. You have to know what I'm talking about to get that. Finn, you know what I'm talking about, right? You're a prison person, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, that's what a criminal would say, Finn.
I plead the fifth.
That's what I thought. I have no comment or recollection at this time, Senator. Get used to saying that, Finn. But if you would like to support us with the super, you can do that with the super chat. We use it, as I said, to put it back into the stream, which you saw today. Finity had Battlefront 2, which he was streaming today. Finn, how was the old Battlefront 2 experience?
Battlefront 2 is really fun. Now, the only issue is that my connection made the video kind of choppy. So I'm going to see what I can do. I'll probably not do too many live streams, but I'll be able to play and record on my end, and it should be better. But the game is really fun. It's a little bit different than some of the other first persons that I've played, in that there's a lot more controls to it. So I just have to get used to it and figure out where I'm putting all the controls. I don't have one of those super gaming mouses. It's a 5-button mouse with a double moving scroll wheel. So it should be enough for this. I just have to program it correctly so my hand is kind of comfortable with the different actions that I need to take. But overall, it's really fun so far. I just need to figure out what exactly I need to do in half of them.
And that is all made possible by your donations, guys. We use the donations to get Finn the PC version. I will have the PlayStation version. I should have my PlayStation this week or next, when I get the time to set up and do all that stuff. It's just me and Finn are just slammed between work and school. He's finishing his MBA. I'm working on finishing my bachelor's. We're both working, so it makes it hard to get things going. But we will have a set schedule. We are going to the PlayStation 4 platform and the PC platform. So those of you who are on the PC and can't get on the PlayStation 4, the reason we got that for Finn is so he can play with you guys that are on PC only, and we can record and have fun with you guys that way as well. So we'll have two versions of the game. The one that will mainly be streaming will be through me, and that will be from the PlayStation 4. So just a heads up, you got till November, end of November when it comes out. The beta's out now, but the game itself comes out in November. So you got a little bit of time. What else? I think that's all the mechanics for right now. Should we go out and do all the shout outs there, Finadoodle?
Yeah, we can do the shout outs.
Let's do it. So we've got, from the top of the list that I can see, we've got Grim and Keyboard.
That is the start.
Yes, Keyboard, who just had a birthday this weekend. We celebrated by getting mad drunk for her, which is what I do. If you would like me to get mad drunk, donate some money, and I'll become an alcoholic for you too. Shay Locomotive's here. Shay, nice to see you again. Always glad to have you in here. Baylor, Steve Burgeon's here. Linus Milius is here as well. Nathaniel Morgan, glad to see you here as well. Our good boy Teals. Stephen Burgett is also here. Darth Racky, Vormax. Clandestine Ops, Cyber Sharks, KP67s. Let's see. Our boy Shadowville, yo, what up to you, homie? Living in H-Town. The tour is here. Bad Rongo, Captain Blackbeard, har, meat treasure. Let's see here. Slash Vendor Hordes is here. Sinister Lath is here. That's a new name. Thank you for being here, Sinister. Victor Onetta. Heather Douglas. Hi, Heather. Glad to have you here as well. Ali Boba and the 40 Rebels is here as well. Bimatsu. Oh, konnichiwa, Bimatsu. Yes, the spam is still behind me. I've got my head kind of blocking it, but it's still there, buddy. Vormax. Yes, we are live. Mortal Womprant. Raza972. Comb Cobra's here. Cobra. Corey Dalmeyer. Rohan Fedgi. I think Darth Raki TGO. I think that's the name I've been seeing before. Well, thank you for being here, sir. Or ma'am, I don't know. Lucas T, thank you. Let's see. I'm looking for Doc Brito. Nice to see you here as well, Mr. Doc Brito. Mortal Warmpride. I think I said that, but I'll say it again. Dustin Tiny Rick, glad to see you here. Dexter Kilgore, glad to have you aboard. Luke Thyrocker's here. Oh, our boy Luke Thyrocker. Best name ever. Matt M, glad to have you here, Matt M. I'm looking. Randolph Thrain, the Dragon Reborn himself, is here. Most Deafiously, glad to have you here. Going through to make sure. I can't even. Wow.
Oh! Did you see what just happened?
No, I'm at the WLDN SSSN Center. Wildinson. I can't. I don't know how you want me to say your
Our
name.
Our boy Stu just donated $2.
Oh my God, not Stu! Oh my God, Stu is here. Oh my God.
One of the original RSG.
See if he wants to be on. Oh my God. Hello, Stu.
If you want to hop on, Stu, go ahead and PM me on Discord. I'll get you all set. I don't think I have you on
Henko 420's here. MJ, up in Minnesota. Sorry about your twins, eh? Sorry about that. Stu, now I see it. Yeah, Stu, rocking on the guitar. Kagero's here. Mattias Cavalcanti. I hope I said that right. Glad to have you aboard. And I think that's it for right now. Oh my God, it's so many people. It's hard to keep track. We're growing in leaps and bounds. Finn, we're no longer the little babies of YouTube. We're growing up to be like in our puberty stage. We're molting.
Hey, up in Minnesota. Are you sure we're there?
Yeah, I think we've molted.
I don't know. I still feel like we're beyond the infancy. I think maybe we're in like the toddler stage.
We're still pooping our pants.
Well, we do have adult diaperoos.
Well, that's right. That's the Ranger J 1999 adult diaperoos. When you have bowel problems, you need Ranger J 1999 underoos. All right, so that's all the shout-outs that I could see right now. I'm sure there's more. If I miss your name, I apologize. We'll try to get you a shout-out when we can. Justin Manley just popped in. Just said, finally made it to the live show. Well, we're glad to have you, Justin Manley. Thank you for being here. And Mattias Cavalcanti said, yay, my name was butchered. Well, welcome to a long stream of me butchering names. Some of y'all write some names. I think it's Mattias Cavalcanti. I don't know. I'm it's hard to say how you say it.
If there's nothing else that's a tradition on RSG, is technical difficulties and butchering names. That's
or
what we
just
do.
Grande just butchering reading. You know.
Well, Grande doesn't even butcher the names; he just makes up other names.
I know, Alibaba.
Your name would, instead of being like Mattias Cavalcanti, would have been Michael Cavalcade. That would have been your name.
Yeah, he would have just said. So, he would just.
We will call you Mr. Cavalcade if you wish.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. All right, we ready to do this? All right. What's next? Let's start off. Finn's leading us on our epic path. We got a lot to discuss, as we always do. If anything drops while we're doing the stream, which does happen sometimes when we're streaming, we will of course have breaking news and get to it. But if not, we'll just go through our regular agenda items. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in chat. Finn will scoop them up, and then we'll read them at the end of this at the end of the stream. So if you have questions about anything we're talking about or anything, just let us know, and we'll try to answer your questions as best we can. All right, let's do this. Finn, what do we got? We got the Twitter question first, right?
Yeah, let's start off with the Twitter question. So the link is in the YouTube description of the video. So if you guys want to click on that, you can hop over to our Twitter page. The question for today is: Thrawn's ship is making Mace as useless and SWGOH as blank. And go ahead and reply to that tweet, and then we'll give the best answers. If you're not sure what's going on with Thrawn chip, hang around. You can post your response afterwards, because we're definitely getting into that today.
Oh, yes. All right, so that's the Twitter question. Go to our Twitter channel. If you haven't joined, go ahead and join the Twitter, and you can go ahead and put your response there. We'll read those at the end of the show. We always have fun with those. And what are we going to talk about first? Well, we're going to talk about first today, Master Finn.
So a few hours ago, there was a post up for everyone. It was called The Road Ahead. And basically, it was a post by CG.
Let me go to that. Oh, no. I didn't have it ready. Let me go. Oh, no.
Well, that's basically like the entirety of our show here today. So the road ahead was a post that Cozy Spoon put up, and it's basically giving us kind of a roadmap for what's coming up with the game. Just to start off, like we always do, we give credit when credit is due, and we give negative feedback when negative feedback is due.
Just say I rant. Just say it, Finn.
Ranger will rant when he's angry.
You rant too sometimes too, so I'm not the only one.
Well, I don't really rant.
You just kind of
make
pout.
An argument as much as I can.
Yeah, you pout a lot.
Yeah, I pout, cry, and then hug my Ewok. But
your BB-8.
So the road ahead. So to give credit to CG here, we've been asking kind of not necessarily always for full details about XYZ, but more so that we get information regarding what their plans are. So it's not necessarily that we're always left in the blank. Just give us the breadcrumbs and we'll try and follow it. And I think just something that happened over the past week, Cozy put a post where she was saying that she was super excited about everything that was happening in October. I don't know if you saw that, Ranger.
No, I didn't get to see that post.
Yeah, so she just posted that she was super excited about everything coming in October, but I think she was just really excited, so she capitalized super, and half the people jumped on that thinking that it was going to be a B2 battle droid.
Oh, Lord.
They thought it was going to be a rework and Separatist rework, and it's going to be Grievous getting reworked. It was a big jump because she capitalized super. So I think they can see now. We're kind of like looking for all those little breadcrumbs that overall they've been really good at giving us, but sometimes the players will jump on stuff when it's not necessary. But that's all part of the fun, at least I think, from the player standpoint.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and start on just working through the post, and we'll kind of take breaks in between because there's a lot of different things that are going to be mentioned here. Yeah. So we'll just go kind of individually through it. So starting off with just the beginning, Hiya Holotable Heroes. In the past month and a half, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has had some exciting additions to the game. We've seen...
As Finn gets a call, as CG saying, don't read it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, yeah.
Hey, $2 for Tills. It says Ghost needs milk opinions for Roadhead. What? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, Ghost is the one that was starting his own goat petting farm and stuff. But we'll get into that later.
Oh, so is some porn stuff going on? I mean, what is happening?
Nah. It's something.
Okay.
So
you're in the loop better than me, Finn. So I guess we'll talk about goats later on in the stream. I don't know what the hell's going on.
We can possibly talk about goats later on in the stream. So, continuing on with the post, we've seen players' determination and total domination in getting Commander Luke Skywalker, conquering territory battles, and acquiring Gear 12.
Ghost just donated $2. Thank you both so far. And he says, "Where do I pick up Teals?"
And I feel like there's going to be a back and forth going on.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. It's begin.
So just starting off with that, I think it's interesting how they characterize the domination of Commander Luke. I don't know. I wish we knew the numbers. I don't know if you've seen any numbers. I think the last one they put was, I think it was 20,000. Was it 20,000 that they said was attempting the Commander Luke event when it was first out?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know total domination, but it's all part of the exaggeration and the fun. So,
yeah.
Just kind of interesting.
Teals just noted $2 back. He said SACK, S-A-C-K, Remento, California. California loves the homeless. God, it has begun, my young Padawans.
Of course it has. So, then continuing on, we are seeing many different strategies as guilds are figuring out how to maximize their star count. If you're not currently in a guild, or if your guild is feeling too small to take on Territory Battle Challenge, we strongly recommend you join up with other players to make your guild as large and powerful as possible. Territory Battles is just the beginning of the type of epic guild activities coming down the road. So I figured that's one of the stopping points we can have, and just talk about the position that it seems that CG is taking on guilds. Is there anything that concerns you with that? So just to read it again, if you're not currently in a guild, or if your guild is feeling too small to take on the Territory Battle Challenge, we strongly recommend you join up with other players to make your guild as large and powerful as possible. Territory battles is just the beginning of the type of epic guild activities coming down the road. So, what do you think about that then, Ranger?
Well, I mean, it goes back to the conversation we'd had a while back. I don't like the fact that when you introduce something, it is, whether it's a heroic Rancor. Well, the Rancor is a little different because we formed guilds, so that wasn't. I guess that's really not a good analogy, or example.
Make your guild.
What the hell? I
don't know what
Stu. Oh, Stu.
Stu was coming in by echoing us.
Okay, he said, "Hey, But
sorry.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I think when we looked at what happened with Rogue AT, it really tore guilds up. And I think some of that happened with territory battles. I don't think it was as bad with territory battles because I think a lot of guilds, because they've been together for so long, for the most part, stuck it out, maybe did some reorganization, especially with a lot of the alliances that have been formed with different guild groups. They were able to move some pieces around, and it hasn't been as bad. However, there has been casualties, and it's happened a lot of places. Guilds that are not part of alliances and stuff like that, where they've seen players leave, trying to get higher with territory battles and stuff. And I don't understand the mentality of it, right? The idea that you should just leave a guild and just go join a better guild, right? You're missing the point, CG, on that one. Respectfully, I disagree with your philosophy on this because I think that you understand that this is a community. People play together. They get to know people. And with any game, you can look at any MMORPG or other games where there's a social aspect to the game. People get to know each other. They become friends, and they want to play the game together with them, right? It's who they're comfortable with. And then you come along and say, well, just go join another guild. Well, it's not that simple. And I think you guys need to really look at your philosophy on that because I don't think I think you're missing the ball on this, and you're putting a lot of strain on the community that you shouldn't be putting a strain on, because your community is where it's at. And if you're splitting up your people, it leaves a bad experience for the players, and leaves a bad taste in their mouth for playing the game. So there's something that I think but we've discussed this before. I don't like this policy. I don't think it makes sense that if you form a guild and you guys have been playing a while, then all of a sudden something's introduced and you're like, you have to make a choice between playing with your friends, which you can do, but struggle through, or you want to go and get to that upper echelon and leave those players behind. It's a tough choice, and I don't think it's something that you should be forcing players to make. That's my thoughts.
What do you think, Stu? I don't know if you caught the conversation, but just the philosophy that CG seems to have on guilds, just kind of based on what they wrote in that paragraph in the update.
That they're going to try to help out leaders and officers?
No. So it's that. So what they wrote was, if you're not currently in a guild, or if your guild is feeling too small to take on territory battle challenge, we strongly recommend you join up with other players to make your guild as large and powerful as possible.
Yeah, and use the search feature to find the better guilds and all that stuff. And
yeah,
it applies pressure on officers to do things that they may not want to do. I know I'm an officer in my guild, and we've got a few people that are low on GP, and we've got people that are really high in GP running the gamut. And now with what they're doing, and they're obviously trying to make people just get bigger, get better all the time. So now, as an officer, what do? Do you kick people that have lower GP in order to bring in better people so you can get the better rewards in TB? And then we got the dark side TB coming, and then we have guild versus guild coming. Do you kick people that have been giving you your daily 600s and been an active part of your guild and stuff? But at the same time, you could also risk losing your higher GP members, because they may say, well, why stay here if I can go to a guild that's nothing but high GP members and get better rewards that way? So I don't know. It's just looking down the pipeline and what we're going to have to deal with if you're an officer or a leader. It could suck, honestly. It could suck. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I forgot, we need to introduce Stu. Stu is one of the original members of the RSG crew. The guitar extraordinary himself, Stu Garden, is in the hizzy. What we haven't heard from you. We haven't heard from you for a while, man. What's going on with you, partner?
Not much, man. Not much. Just been working a lot and just living the dream. Posting YouTube videos every now and again, and me playing and just chilling, living the dream.
Yeah, that's all right. How are things over in the furnaces? It's furnaces, right? You're in furnaces?
Furnaces.
Yeah. I remember what guild you were in.
Everything's good. Everything's good. We're going strong. We've got a good TB schedule and rules going down. We're using a spreadsheet that I think is spread out pretty well by now. If you haven't seen it or your guild doesn't have it, we have a spreadsheet that will automatically look at what you need for platoons, and then scour your guild with GG and assign who has that, who has like the lowest gear, but 4, 5, 6, 7 star, blah, 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 and just automatically assign out all your platoons for you. It helps tremendously.
I agree. So I think we've covered did you want to add anything, Loki or Finn, to the conversation? Any dissenting viewpoints?
No, I mean, I agree with what you said. The only thing I do want to add is I think we all have a good sense on overall GP, and there's still a plateau with GP, right? And what I mean by this is if you're in a guild with like 102 GP, like overall GP, you can accomplish 41 stars, right? But then we've touched base on this, that to get the 42nd star, like there's a big jump. Like I think, what is it, 117 million GP?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 102 million GP to 117 million GP. I'm all for, going to a bigger and better guild, but if your guild already is getting 41 stars, you better be jumping to a guild that's like 130 million GP to make it really worth your while. And even with that, I talked to some of the guilds on the leaderboard that have the higher GPs, and they're still RNG. I mean, screwed, and have a lot of players with high galactic overall power, right?
Yeah, I mean,
or you're missing 15 Millennium Falcons, right? So
or Kylo Ren shuttle, Kylo Ren.
Exactly. I mean, so think about that. I mean, if you're in a guild that can get 41 stars, it's not worth it to go to another guild hoping to get 42. It really isn't.
Not at all.
But if you can jump to a guild that's going to get 45 and they let you in, go for it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
What's the estimation on GP to get 45 stars? It's like 175 million GP.
Yeah, we're making a run for it.
It's 170.
Yeah, we're making
I thought
a run.
It was 175.
Yeah, TI is making a run for it this week with the territory battle. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, good luck to that. I mean, dude. I mean, my hat's off to TI for attempting it again. It's tough, man. I mean,
it really is.
And the thing too is you need all 50 guys to get perfect battles. You can't have one guy drop off, and that's the RNG of it, is the internet connection could drop off. That's the problem. We can't control that. I mean, dude, if Comcast or whoever's your internet provider decides to put a blanket on you during territory battles right in the middle of your battle,
then you get your ass a Starbucks and get on the Wi-Fi.
I mean, I'm part of a lot of, and this is my final thought is, I'm part of guilds right now. We're South American based. We got guys that still they have not had internet connection because they're from Puerto Rico. So that's tough. I mean, and that's the RNG factors that even if you join 150 million GP guild, if you got 5 guys that don't have internet connection, what are you gonna do? I mean, I think to just look at overall GP, it's kind of narrow-minded. I mean, you have to get with a guild that has the same play style, that has the same goals as you, and just stick it out with them and grow together, I think is what I'm trying to say. And If you can get to 41 stars right now until they adjust the collection score of stars, if you have 41 stars, you're good. I would stay where you're at. It's not worth it to go to 42. It's really not worth it to go to 43.
Oh, yes.
I would jump for 44 and 45 if you're in a 41-star guild, and I'll leave it at that.
Well said, my friend. All right, should we continue on, Finadoodle?
Yes, indeed. So the next part is about the territory battle cadence and the rewards. So we recently announced that territory battles are going to continue to last for 6 days. And we will then be followed by a 4-day cooldown period starting again. As we mentioned in this post, it became clear that we needed to give guilds a longer break between territory battles. As always, we will evaluate the schedule based on data, player feedback, and player participation needs. To complement this change, we increased the reward payout from territory battles, as well as added 3 new special missions for additional rewards. As always, we are constantly iterating on features. We're looking into some other places for players to earn Gear 12. We are also considering providing some better tools for guild leaders and officers to manage how their guilds play territory battles. In the coming months, we are going to introduce a second territory battle map. Our newest territory battle is from the point of view of the dark side.
Excellent.
Both maps will allow deployment of all troops. We'll have more details very soon.
Good. But they better put some damn more dark side characters in the game, because we don't have enough to do territory battles the way they are right now.
You just read my mind, Ranger. It's
We're like way below what we need for territory battles to do dark side battles. You know,
I agree with you.
Holy moly. So there better be an influx of dark side characters like mad quickly for that to be a thing that happens. Goodness gracious. And then for the gear, I think they're doing a good job with territory battles. This is my viewpoint, of making changes, adapting, doing the best, with what they got and fixing things. I think they're on point on trying to keep working, looking at it. What can they add? What do they need to do to fix things? I think they're on point with that. I'm interested with the dark side, but if they launch dark side without introducing any new more dark side characters, I'm going to be very, very upset, CG. You will get ranted on. That's all I'm saying.
So, I mean, we can go around the corn here and just see what you guys think. But since they're looking at the player feedback and all that kind of stuff, I'm wondering if there's one thing that you would want to see changed in territory battles. What would it be? And I can tell you mine.
Mine's ships. Quit putting Kylo Ren's ship in stuff that no one has access to, not even whales for the most part, to where that's part of your requirement. Fix that already. Good Lord in heaven. That's my thought.
Mine would be that they stop doing a set time for everyone. 1 p.m. Eastern time is like the most inconvenient time for me, especially on Sunday. Like, I want to relax and watch football, but the first thing I have to do is start doing territory battle, figuring out.
That's right, Finn, priorities.
No. Let's make it so the guilds can pick their start time. Stu, what about you?
I agree with Ranger. I hate that they're using hard to get or rare characters, like requiring the Falcon when that was a thing was very upsetting, and the Reapers and Kylo Ren's ship and the Paplus and stuff. It's just like, okay, either make this available and more ubiquitous for everybody, or just move on from it. Really, make it so that we can actually fill these things up, because we're having to skip entire platoons. I mean, not a whole heck of a lot these days. It seems to have gotten a little better, but also just the overall grind of territory battles. It's just starting to wear down a little bit. I mean, it's lasting 6 days, and it's like, oh god, just going on. I mean, they have fixed the rewards, which is good, because the first time through, it was like, really, guys, really, basically a full week's commitment, and that's what we get.
Oh yes, there was many up in arms, and recently, last week, with what happened with the last territory battles with the 43-star issue, there was quite a lot of people upset about that. Of course, to their credit, they fixed it. So,
they got theirs. They got their swag, so that's all right.
Yeah, speaking of someone who got swag, Loki got 20,000 crystals. Loki, your thoughts?
I'm not complaining, man. It's a great thing.
He still hasn't given me any.
He won't, because he's a greedy whore.
Loki, you got 20,000 crystals?
Yes. Tell him why,
Nice.
Loki.
I did. I got sweeped up on that Captain Han Solo gig. So.
Yep. I got 20,000 crystals. I actually spent 10,000 today. And
he's spending all of it to go hang out with an emu.
nice. And I also got my $60 back too.
Nice.
So I went to Apple and I was like, hey, they did this, they said this, then they changed it back, and then blah blah blah. And I wouldn't have never bought this had they just stuck to the original game plan and what they told all the YouTubers and what they told us directly and stuff. And they were like, yeah, okay, cool, totally. Here's your money back. And I was like, all right, cool. All right. And then I got a crap ton of crystals, and I was like, oh man.
Oh my god.
Like that's enough. Like for what they've banned people for. I should probably just shut up. I was just joking, guys. I didn't get anything.
No.
We can jump on Discord, Stu, and talk about it later and laugh. So.
Yeah.
Or you can get banned, Loki. No, we never do that. All
His ally code is 8675309.
There you go.
Lord. All right, let's go into the next one. This is interesting.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. So we've talked about, actually, just continuing on there. So now they're going to be introducing a dark side. So the question is, where do you think the territory battle dark side will be? And do you have any, so this one is definitely rebel based. I don't know if you guys noticed it on the events calendar. It listed as Hoth territory battle, and then they put a colon and wrote rebels. So I don't know if the next one is going to be another Hoth battle where you're the Empire, but what are you guys thinking in terms of, what faction would you want to see? I know there's not as many dark side, but would you want to do Empire? Would you want to see another faction? What are you guys thinking about the dark side territory?
Well, I love the dark side. Like I like my coffee. Dark and black like my heart. I think dark side, there's so many possibilities. We've talked about this before on the show. You can bring in the Triumvirate, the Sith Triumvirate. There's a bunch of Old Republic villains you can bring in. I mean, there's Legends characters you can bring in. You can bring in Mara Jade. You can bring in the Inquisitors from Rebels. I mean, different types of Stormtroopers. I mean, there's all kinds of characters, not including the new one from The Last Jedi that'll bring new characters in. So there's a plethora of dark side characters that they can bring in. They can bring in more separatists. They can bring in more bounty hunters. More evil. We want more evil, damn it. I'm sick of the light side. It's time for the dark side to rule the galaxy again. Stu, your
it's about
thoughts.
damn time.
You know, are you sick?
It's been 3 months since Thrawn came out, and that's the last dark side. That's the last new dark side thing we've got. Now we're getting his ship, and they announced that they're going to be bringing in more Night Sisters and stuff, which is cool.
Well, they're going to fix Night Sisters. I think they're bringing in Mother Townsend, but, you know, it's like, great.
Well, I think they said they're going to bring in a couple of them, right?
Are they going to add a couple more? Okay.
I think that's how they worded it. I don't know. I'd take anything they say with a massive grain of salt, but I think it's about time that that we get some dark side love. I'm getting pretty darn sick of having to concentrate everything on light side and more rebels and more rebels and more rebels and more rebels and more rebels, and it's just like, oh my god, we don't need. We already have multiple Han Solos. It's just like we don't need this anymore. We need some dark side love. I love thongs.
You do?
You mean Thrawn? No, I'm looking at Grim here. I'm looking at the chat. Just see, I love
thongs. Oh, that's random, man. That's our chat, man. They do that stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's about darn time that we got some dark side love, and I can't wait because I really want to start focusing on the dark side again. I went to my roster and I selected light side, and I saw all the stuff I have at like gear 11 and level 85 now, and at gear 12. Then I looked at dark side, and it's like there's a couple. Here's some Gear 11s, no Gear 12s, and then it just drops off so quickly to like level 53s and Gear 7s and stuff, and it's like, oh god, it just makes me want to cry.
It's always something. Loki, Mr. Locomotive, what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't mean to sound like I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna say what they're gonna do, because I know CG and they're pretty lazy at this point. I think they're gonna flip the map on us. I
would agree with that 100%.
Okay?
That makes sense.
But here's the problem with it: is we know we've theory crafted and we've covered so many light side teams that work. There's Phoenix, there's Rogue One. All those teams have something in common, right? Like they got a healer, they got cleansers, they got turn meter gain, they got turn meter reduction, they got all sorts of stuff going on, right? So let's think about this for a minute. The dark side, the only thing the dark side has going for it right now is they got a crap load of factions. And all the factions suck or they're not complete, right? So you have a Geonosian faction, which is not complete. You have a Tuscan faction, which is not complete, right? It's and that's what I'm worried about. It's going back to your comment about how are they going to launch a dark side territory battle when they haven't released any new dark side tunes or given anybody reworks recently. So what I'm trying to say is, how are we going to do a Rogue One type team with dark side characters right now that don't require Zetas? And I was thinking about this earlier. I go, you can have a director Krennic lead, right? But then you need a Zeta on him. You can have a Thrawn lead, but then how many people got Thrawn, right? That's the problem. Can you get him at 7 stars in time? And then you got to Zeta his leadership to get the protection back, right? You got a Nihilist lead. Okay, maybe Sith are going to dominate the dark side because
that's one team.
Sith can do all that stuff, right? They can heal and they're not going to crit, so they're not going to activate whatever is going to be on the other side that the rebels or the light side Hoth soldiers are going to have. But that's only one faction. The Night Sisters are useless right now. Maybe their rework makes them viable in dark side territory battle. I don't know. But I think at this point, that's what we're going to look forward to, is they're going to flip the map on us. That's what I think is going to happen.
I agree.
I think that's the most logical step. Yeah,
it's the easiest. But again, is there a Phoenix type team on the dark side right now? I don't think so.
No.
Are we going to need Imperial troopers?
Imperial troopers would be the one.
You better get your troopers up. You better get your Grand Moff Tarkin.
Who has all the troopers Zeta and Gear 12
I know.
and all that, right? I don't.
But you could have said that about Rogue One too.
I know, but
the thing is Rogue One has a Truton base. Who the hell does the Imperial troopers have? They have a freaking shore trooper, and that's it.
And Death Trooper,
shore trooper, Krennic, and Death Trooper. But nothing that's chased like.
Yeah,
nothing to that level. But
you have no General Kenobi-ish. You have no Zeta Barris.
You have a General in Veers.
How dare you, sir?
Well, I was going to say, if we're talking troopers, just don't.
Yeah, you know what I'm getting.
Veers.
Are you going to use First Order? They're dark side, right? Maybe you got to use First Order, but First Order's got their problems, right? They don't have a healer. Are they viable? We don't know yet. So the dark side has a lot of factions, but all the factions are broken at the moment. They're not very good. Not broken as in overpowered. They're broken as in broken. And I don't know, man. I mean, we got a droid faction, I guess, in dark side, but General Grievous is not very good. So
no, he's garbage.
They have to do a massive rework. I mean, is what I'm getting at.
Maybe.
And then you're gonna need.
I agree with Loki on this
all the
one.
guys up.
If you consider the leader to be Emperor Palpatine,
that's right.
He's
My
both
time is
Empire and Sith. So it's possible that the dark side would be an Empire and Sith, and then the specific small faction, whether it's Rogue One or Phoenix, if you're kind of copying the same layout, would be the Imperial troopers. But for the rest of it, it could be a combination of Sith and Empire.
Yeah, no, I think there's going to be dark side requirements, right? Any dark side,
right?
So, if we already know how the rebel or the current territory battle, we know how it is now. So all they got to do is flip the button and make everything dark side, and it's going to be just like that. So are we going to need Night Sisters in a specific node? Probably. I mean, with the rework coming, you're probably going to need them, right?
Sorry for your United sister.
But it wouldn't make sense. That's well, I guess Phoenix doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Phoenix and Rogue One don't make sense in the snow either, you know. So
I think what would make the most sense is giving Emperor Palpatine, a Zeta. Finally,
excellent choice.
Bring that. Give him some. I mean, he's the freaking Emperor. Give him a Zeta.
That's
and
the
give him an awesome one. Give him an awesome one.
Not one that. Vader needs a rework. I'm sorry.
What Palpatine needs one of those, you know, like Mace Windu's ship. How he has the you know, what is it called? It's the one where he puts.
Where you can't. You can't do damage
for like 2 turns. That's what he needs, and that's it.
Yeah, something like that. It needs to be something that is like, oh yeah, we need this. It's that, and also the dark side needs a CLS comparison character, like something that CLS did to the light side.
Yes, his name is
Dark
Revan.
Side needs something.
His name is Revan.
Yes,
that would be the shiznit if they actually did that. If they brought in Revan and he's like, "Hey, what's up, bitches?
Yeah,
I'm laying everyone down," just like CLS did. I would be.
Yep.
I would spend a fortune to get Revan. I'm telling you right now.
I would
me
say
too.
This. I would say this: get your Krennic ready. If you got Thrawn, get him ready. I will actually lean on Urban Blaster. He's got a Gar Saxon already. I will say Gar Saxon's going to rule it.
I would say if you're good on territory battles with your light side, right, where you can do pretty much where you're solid.
Yeah, I mean,
start changing a little bit of your farming toward those characters, so dark side.
Yeah,
so you can get ready.
I would say your Gar Saxon's the closest thing to a CLS, and that's because he's got the counter chance, right? We all know retribution and counter chance is the way to go.
But
so,
get your Shore Trooper up, get your Death Trooper up, get your Krennic up. Yep. Thrawn events coming. We'll get into that. You need your Thrawn.
Roro is probably the closest thing to Lobot on the dark side.
How dare you, sir?
It's true. What? If you're gonna have to put something in a
he's
platoon,
garbage. They're both garbage. What's your point, Finn? You're just trolling.
Six.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it, Finn.
In the platoon. You know that if you're going to do dark side, is probably going to be like 8 of them in phase 6 for the platoon.
Search your platoon. You know it to be true.
I find your lack of
nobody farmed.
We could have separatists, you know. I mean, it's separatists only, so that could be coming. So they got to rework those guys too. And the problem with the dark side is they don't have any DPS characters. That's the problem right now.
Very few.
You got TIE Fighter Pilot, and that's it. And First Order TIE Pilot. Those guys hit the hardest, you know, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is slow.
We'll have to get... Yeah, we're going to have to see some major reworks. But also, you know how they made us work on Hoth Rebel Scout and Hoth Rebel Soldier, basically the HRSs? Who's going to be the HRS equivalent on the dark side?
Snow Trooper.
There's like Magma Trooper.
Yeah,
Magma Trooper and Stormtrooper. So I mean, I'm good on Magma Trooper. I already got him at 7-star. But
I got Snow. I mean, Stormtrooper's just about done.
And Veers would be my guy.
Yeah, I got Snow Trooper at 7-star.
Yeah, Veers will be one. You need to get your Veers up. Mine's 6-star. I need to finish him. I mean, I'm in a good spot where, you know, for the battles that I do with Hoth Rebel Soldiers, so I'm still farming them, but it's like I'm finishing my dark side off. I have a ton of those characters already done, so I'm in a good spot. I need to finish Krennic. I'll get my Thrawn to 7, and then I'll start working on Saxton and stuff like that. But man, you just go down the list, and it's like, I mean, I've got a full First Order team. I've got a full Sith team, and those are the only 2 that are really viable. I mean, you can do Troopers, but you need like Krennic, you know, and stuff like that. I've got Tarkin stuff done, but I could see a lot of players.
Even with Krennic, like, it's not a full Trooper squad. You know?
No, only if you're going to run a Death Trooper. You run Krennic and Death Trooper; they're amazing together. But you'll need. Well, I mean, the team I would run with that was Thrawn with Krennic and Death Trooper with Shore Trooper and probably like a TIE Fighter pilot. You know, get some DPS in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To hit. And you know, so that'll. I mean, those are the stuff you got to start thinking about now. So. But they've had us so focused on light side and people trying to get this territory battle done. You know, if they put territory battle dark side here quicker than later, they're messing up because people are going to lose their mind because it's like, okay, I'm trying to farm this territory battle.
Not ready, man.
You know,
even the whales aren't ready, man. I mean, do we even have enough dark side ships? You know, like
not even close, man.
I think that's a big reason why they're doing Thrawn's ship.
Well, they
trying to get
still
ready.
need other ancillary ships to add into that. It's like, God.
I know they're playing catch up. I don't think they thoroughly thought this through. We may get some real mashed together hot fixes and
Well,
reworks
keep in
and
mind
stuff.
though, they just said this is in the upcoming month, so it's not that it's
Right.
necessarily coming out next month. They have the new movie coming out, so it could be a very large.
I would
first
say
order
what
present.
January, February they may start giving hints about dropping this territory battle. You think, Finn?
Yeah, because I mean, at least what they're doing now, and it seems like it's a good idea.
Oh, we
and I'm
got
hoping
here
this is
for
what they're doing.
porn. Oh, you good
Yeah, I
job,
know.
Finn.
We're
You're
getting
right
more
on it.
now in our chat. We're moving up in
Oh.
the world. So, at least what they seem to be doing now, and if this is their plan, then I am okay with it. It's not ideal, but it'll work. Which is that they're releasing kind of the territory battles to the masses. They're making all of the changes now, and then to what Loki was saying, they'll probably just flip it and make a dark side version. But if their plan is to, however they're doing it, work with the players, get the feedback, make the changes, add the stuff from like the guild officers and the leaders to make it easier, that means their next one is going to be that much smoother, since they're basically creating a template for basically everything in the future. Their territory battles are one thing. I'm sure their territory wars are going to be related to this as well, so they can kind of duplicate some of the code from that as well. So if their plan is to just kind of go through this and let the players say what their issues are, work for it, wait until they're actually happy with it, and then move to the point where they introduce the dark side, I'm fine with that. Don't put a time frame on it. Just keep on working, making things better from territory battle to territory battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a little tedious, territory battles time-wise, so I think they need to do something with it. But then, can you imagine with everything that's going on with this, just adding dark side, the amount of people that will be pissed off that they have to, I don't know, move mods from certain characters to other ones to even be competitive? Because right now, light side is meta, so it's not as big a deal. If you need dark side characters in order to succeed on territory battles for the dark side, the movement of mods is going to be ridiculous.
It's a lot.
So
it's a lot.
Yeah, it'll be annoying. And before they introduce the dark side territory battles, they'll have to reduce the 6-day down to the original 3-day, 10
God, I
instead of
hope
the
not.
24 hours. And well, they'll have to. There's no way they can do six.
Well, I think they would just
two
alter.
6-day. Well, I mean, I guess, but
I
then
think they would
we
just
really
alternate between light side, dark side, because I don't.
If that happens, that would be so incredibly annoying. Then,
Yeah.
because then if you're running an all light side arena team, you're constantly having to. Oh man, I don't know.
Then
I
again,
don't know how
that's the same thing that's happening now, right? If somebody's running an all dark side team, I know the meta is all light side pretty much, but there are people running dark side. I'm sure they're running into that same issue now as well. So.
All right, let's
Yeah.
move on to the next subject.
All right.
Is it GVG?
Yep.
Mhm.
So the next step is guild battles. So we are very excited to announce that after territory battles, we are working on the next step in guild battles, something we are calling territory wars. The initial territory war map will take place on the planet of Jakku. Now, before I continue, Ranger, do you just want to give a little background on Jakku, like what happened there, its relevance, all that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay. So
Read a book. I'm sick of being your lore master. No, I'll do it. I mean, if you haven't seen Force Awakens, obviously, so Jakku was the final in the new canon, the final battle between the Rebellion and the Empire after Return of the Jedi. Empire lost, went to the Outer Rim, unknown space, formed the First Order, right? The reason you see all the ships and stuff, that's where all they crash and stuff. That's why you have all the junkers out there, salvaging all the stuff there on Jakku. There's also parts in the book where there's some other stories, which I won't get into because that'll be spoilers and I don't want to get into it. Jakku is an important planet. I don't know if they're going to ever go back to Jakku. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It does tie into Rey's storyline somehow, further than what we know already. But that's where we meet Rey. But in the books, the Battle of Jakku is for the new canon where...
Ranger, do your arms trader impression. I love it.
Infinity, I'll give you 700 potions for your BB-8 droid. All right, I'll give you 12,000 potions for the BB-8 droid and the Wicket. He's not saying anything.
Damn it, Finn.
Keep a straight face.
All right, I'll give you 1 million potions.
Deal.
And a hug.
Yay!
God.
You could have started with a hug and saved yourself a lot of trouble.
All I have are hugs and potions.
That's great.
Portions that turn into little balls. Just look like dumplings.
They look like,
But not like chicken and dumplings, but like
know
what I
it
do
is?
in the
It
toilet.
looks like candy to me. Like it looked like, like rock candy or something. He was saying. I don't know what the hell those things are, man.
Is that what you call that's what you call portions? Oh my God, you're sick. We do what we must.
All right, GVG.
Yes, get off our
So-
website.
This mode will bear some similarities to territory battles, but instead of your guild playing against the game, you'll be competing against other guilds. In this mode, you will play both a defensive and offensive game, one in which you will determine which parts of your collection you think will stand and fight for your territories and which you want to take down your opponents. Both guilds will compete to see who gets the most territories, so strategy is key. Be prepared for anything in Guild vs. Guild strategy competition. We'll be talking more about territory wars in the upcoming month, so keep an eye out. In the meantime, make sure you're guilded up using our new guild search functionality, are well practiced on territory battles, and have several squads fleets that are ready to battle other players.
Interesting.
It would be super sweet if we could do live PvP. That'd be awesome. If it was guild versus guild. And
That's
you
right. I challenge you. I challenge the Ferrises. It gets me and Loki.
I'd be like, Ewokin, let's do this shit.
So you're going to pick a fight with T.I.?
Yeah, every day. I already.
Your guild would hate you for the rest of your life.
No problem.
If it was PvP, fine, but it says it's guild versus guild. I was talking to like Ewokin and Floba Fett and a few of the other TI guys, and I was like, I think your like top 10 guys could beat all 50 of us. But if we could just pick that and just do one-on-one, I'd be like, Flo, Ewok, bring this shit. Like, let's do this. Throwing down all the time. Because really, I mean, if it's 5-on-5, then you having a 3 million GP roster doesn't mean anything against my, what am I at, like 1.7, 1.8 million? I know it's low. I know everyone's laughing, but don't forget, I took 7-8 months off. So
what are you at? 1.8? That's good, man. Don't worry about that.
I know, but it should be so much higher.
Well, the thing is, I think if it's going to be like territory battles, you're going to... I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't think it's going to be 1v1 in the territories. It'll be guild versus guild in the territories. Right,
and I think what's going to happen is that you're going to put in, like, once you put in your team on defense, then the person who enters in the match is going to bring their team, and then they'll play you as if it's PvP arena. And that's how I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. And then when you go into exactly, that's what I'm thinking. You'll sacrifice some of your players, and once whoever you put in a defense, you can't use on offense, and that it's same thing, vice versa. And then you'll just see who gets more areas, territories, whatever they're going to call it.
So we came up with this idea already, right?
Yeah, long time ago.
So
I want to add to that comment, just real quick. So you know how we go into a node and then there's 6 phases. So I think as a guild, you have to put 6 teams into each node. So you have to get one team from each guy and make 6 teams, right? So it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all the way to 6. And that's the way I think it's going to be. I think mods are going to get locked. You mentioned you only have a 1.8 mil GP, but here's the kicker to this. And I'm going to put this out there because I've been really thinking about this as well. I know a lot of whales out there. They got like 100% collection scores, but their mods are junk. And I got guys on my guild right now. They got 1.8 mil GP, but they have 10 sets of mods with like 18 plus speed on every single one. So I think that's going to be more critical, is you got to scoop up those guys that not only have rosters, but they got sets and sets and sets of mods, so they can pretty much mod 6 arena teams, without moving mods around. That's something to think about with this whole thing. Because like I said, in my guild, I got guys with 1.5, 1.8, but those guys got better mods than me. So they wailed out on mods. They didn't wail out on the roster.
Right, exactly.
I really think that's the way it's going to go down. So you got to pick and choose where you're going to put your arena team or your team for each phase and in each node. And I think each node is going to have a requirement for defense. So on this node for defense, you can only put Night Sisters in it. You know what I'm saying? Or you can only put Resistance, or you can only put Clones, or you can only, I think they're gonna spin that on us. And
you can only use Sith in this battle.
Correct. And not everybody's got 6 teams worth of 15 plus speed mods. I mean, that's nobody's. I don't know how many people got that. That'll be interesting, and I don't think you can move mods around. That's going to be my prediction on it.
Your prediction is that mods are going to be locked into the character, and once the character is used, you can't pull the mod off of them?
Not in that battle,
I think so, man. I think so. Because that's going to make it more fair. I mean, you just mentioned, you got 10 guys on the number 1 TI squad. They can take out 50 guys of another squad, or guild, sure. But if you do that and you lock the mods, now you're almost leveling the playing field now, right?
I wonder how they're going to do the matchups. I mean, if someone wants to challenge one guild, but that guild wants to challenge another guild, how does that work? That's an
interesting one too. I mean, is it overall GP is matched up with the second overall GP? We don't know yet. But
I hope that you could challenge other guilds and they can accept that. That's what I hope. I hope you're not limited based on GP, because I want to try TI and Dark Lords and Alliance Alpha and just get smashed and just laugh and have fun. Would you want to do that
if there's rewards attached to it, though?
Well, I think that either losing side will still get rewards.
I would hope that you still get rewards.
If my guild is 80, is 80 mil GP and I take on 120 mil GP guild, I would do it if there's like handicap, because I'm 80 million and I can take down 120 mil guild, then I get better rewards if I fight a 60 mil guild. You know what I mean? So I hope there's incentive to do that.
It'll be interesting. I hope they don't put some rewards in there that are going to be outrageous, so that you can only get if you win or something like that. They'll defeat the purpose. This should just be for fun. Maybe you get crystals or stuff like that. It shouldn't be something new kind of reward or anything. It should be like crystals or credits or something along those lines. To where
it should be something we can use exactly like crystals and credits, stuff that we desperately need all the time.
Yeah. But I mean, it'll be interesting how this is going to play out. We still don't know the specifics or anything like that, so this is purely speculation. It could be just everybody pick a territory platoon, and then then you just fight it out. It's like, I don't know how they're going to do it, so it'll be interesting. All right, next they're finning a noodle.
I need to find our old idea, because we basically came up with this.
I know. We know CG listens to us. I know. We expect $20 million into our account soon. It's okay.
I don't know
if crystals.
You guys remember. So the way we had it set up, it'd be interesting if they actually used the concept. Mm-hmm. But the way we had it set up was everybody donates 3 squads. So there's like a 24-hour period where you figure out what your 3 squads are. So rather than locking in mods, it would take whatever the mods are on your 3 squads at the end of that period. And there's 3 different phases. They're different territories. Each one can hold a different number of teams, and you get a total number of points based on however many teams are in that particular area. So, for example, like the 3rd phase would only have like 25 teams, and it's 100 points. So each time you beat somebody, it's 4 points each. versus in like the first phase, there might only be like 6 territories. So you just keep on adding them. There's very little points per team. So you just keep on loading it up there. So that's kind of how we had it designed in ours, where you pick your teams, you assign it to particular nodes within each different territory, and then you basically just battle for points. If that's what they're doing, I think it'd be kind of cool. Because we like taking credit for stuff.
We do. Just like Phoenix characters. They listen. 20 million crystals.
I wish they actually used our kits, though, from the Phoenix characters. I think our kits were better.
They were better.
Buttsock needs to be in the game. That's all that.
I mean, just give us Buttsock, guys. CG, come on, just give us the Buttsock. That's all we're asking.
Even as like a flavor text somewhere.
Yeah.
Just
yeah. All right, next.
Oh man, can you imagine if it's a little buff?
The Buttsock.
Zeb applies Buttsock, and a little Buttsock comes over your character's head.
No, over their hiney.
Yeah. The new butt buff.
Oh God. All right.
But yeah, just to wrap that up, I think what you guys were saying is probably right in that however they do the matchmaking for this will probably end up being the most important thing. If they make it so there isn't a balance. So if you challenge somebody, that's one thing. If it's automatically predetermined and you have like a casual guild at 60 million somehow facing TI with 150 million.
Yummy,
like,
yummy. Fill my tummy.
That's going to destroy it.
Bring it.
That's a trap.
You know, on the flip side too, it'd be cool if you had 2 of your same guilds that are in your alliance. So if you had both TIs going up against one another,
God.
what are you guys gonna do? You gonna flip a coin or something?
No, we'll try to kill each other. That's how competitive TI is.
That's probably what they'll just do, is they'll just battle each other and then split the rewards and stuff. Like, we win this time, you win next time. We win this time, you win next time.
No, we would be competitive. We would try to see who was the best. It would be no holds bar. I'm telling you, that's how TI is. Like, oh, you're challenging us. We're going to kill you. But we're the same. No, you have to die. Oh, yeah, well, you have to die. Game on.
Shamo.
All right, next, Finn.
All right, so the last thing before we kind of jump into our meta report is The Last Jedi. So our first character from Star Wars, The Last Jedi, will be making an appearance before the movie comes out in December. Woo-hoo. This is going to be a variant of a character that fans of Star Wars are already familiar with, so stay tuned for more details.
Who
do we
I think we know what this is, but do you guys want to...
It's going to be Phasma.
It's going to be another Han Solo. It's going to be the ghost of Han Solo with a big hole in his chest. That's what I'm calling.
I do want a ghost Han Solo that if you face a Kylo, it just haunts him and keeps him stunned the entire time.
Chewbacca.
But it's probably going to be one of 2 characters. It's either going to be Phasma, because they've been doing stuff with Phasma, or it's going to be with Rey, since they've been giving away Rey shards, and they've already kind of mentioned that they're renaming Scavenger Rey.
Could be Kylo Ren.
It could be, but they haven't really done much with Kylo, and there hasn't been much of a need to show him as a variant yet. Unless it's like helmetless emo Kylo or something like that.
Don't be jelly because he's got the dark side and you don't, Finn.
Nah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'd rather be the light side and hang around with Daisy all day. So
you can be the dark side and just overpower, and then they'll be yours. You corrupt him.
Yeah, Kylo tried that. It didn't work out for him.
Well, it's because he's not the best one to be trying to do that. All right. So we're gonna do the meta report real quick then.
Yep. Let's go ahead and jump into the meta report.
All right, here real quick. The meta report. See the big Pac-Man thing? That's Luke Skywalker. He's gobbling up everybody else. My God in heaven.
Yes.
It's pretty much Luke and General Kenobi, and then Rex. That represents still 92% of the meta.
Rex is still falling down a little bit.
A little bit, but it's still a little bit viable. But yeah, it's either a Luke team of some sort or General Kenobi with Zera's team of some sort, and that's all you're seeing. And it's pretty much PvP is getting really stale, and it's getting really old, and it's getting really dumb. You know, I mean, it really is. There's no variant whatsoever in PvP now, and it's really starting to frustrate me.
Yawn.
It is very much yawn. I mean, I don't understand their thinking on this. PvP is like one of the most important things about this game, and yet they don't seem to be addressing this issue. You know, I mean, there's only a certain amount of characters. We've been doing this for weeks now, and this happens in cycles, right? Before this, it was just Rex like crazy, right? Before that, it was like Maul like crazy, but it was only certain characters are still in the meta no matter what. There's just no variant of other characters coming in, you know. It's maddening.
Well, it's also what Luke's kit is. So look at everything that Luke is just a single.
I know about Luke Skywalker. Don't you talk to me like that, Finn?
So much other stuff. He recovers protection. He removes debuffs off himself. He can remove buffs off another character.
He can go to Tashi Station, get power converters. We know.
He can remove turn meter. He ignores taunt. Like he basically negates half of the different abilities that they put in the game.
Yep. And it's boring.
Yes. Like, why would he not be the meta, considering how much he can freaking do? And then you add R2, and he'll just go and stun somebody as a counterattack because you have Luke as a lead. I mean, it's not terribly surprising.
Or with Han Solo, you do AoE with OG Han in there, and it's like, oh, triple tap that ass, you're out.
I know. OG Han is starting to get really annoying, too, with his triple mollywops. And
yeah. I mean, it's fun when Urban says it, but then when it's happening to you, it's not so fun. Even with Urban going, oh, Han with the OG Han with the triple mollywops. Like, yeah, but I lost. It's all right. Eat some gamer fuel. All right. So
Here comes the triple molly. Oh, frick.
Eat this strange pizza creation I made. What? No, I'm sad. It'll make you feel better.
Interesting though, if you look at the all characters, there's actually more R2s in squads than there are Commander Lukes.
But R2 is another character. I mean, he's a must. You know, it's just
you can throw R2 in almost any team.
Yeah,
and it'll work.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's just. Same characters. I mean, top characters: R2-D2, Commander Luke, General Kenobi, Han Solo. What a surprise! Grand Admiral Thrawn. What a surprise! Darth Nihilus. What a surprise! Barriss. What a surprise! Chase, Chirrut. You know, and then Rex. It's madness, man. It's the same characters over and over again, and everybody uses the same teams or combinations of the team. There's just no variation.
Chase, man.
You know, it's boring.
And as a note, there's only 2 dark side, one of which is a legendary, and the other one is off a single hard node. So dark side is not really represented well in the meta.
Dark side is dead right now. We've been saying it for weeks. Dark side is dead. It is dead as a doorknob. I mean, when you get to the upper echelons of PvP, nobody's using a full dark side team or any variant of that. It's Commander Luke.
There's a couple that on mine, but I mean, it's only like. Well,
and I bet you attack them all the time, like, well, this is a free win.
It is, but they also do well on offense.
See?
Thrawn lead with Krennic, Shore Trooper, First Order Stormtrooper, and Death Trooper. It actually works out really well. If you don't have a Nihilus, it pretty much just manages to stay alive. But it's like the only dark side team on my server.
Madness, man. So is there anything we want to talk about this? This is infuriating.
OG Han coming up was actually kind of interesting to me. He shot up.
I knew we knew he was going to shoot up. I mean, I'm going to Zeta mine next. That's my next Zeta. I had to get Finn done, but I've already got 11 Zetas. I'm farming the hell out of them, and he's going to be my next Zeta, straight up. Somebody's knocking on somebody's door. I don't know what
that was me and my pen.
Oh, I was about to say, well, hello there.
I was doodling. I was so fucking bored with this meta report.
I know. KP67 says, Ranger has so much hate. I do have so much hate for the meta report.
Yeah, that's why you love the dark side.
That's right. When I enter a room, puppies scream. Bleh. All right. Next.
Let's look at the Zetas then.
All right, so let's see. The Zeta report?
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it suck in the dark side territory battle if you needed a bounty hunter? Like you need a bounty hunter faction in one of the nodes? So bad.
Yeah.
You got no healer. You got nothing.
The Zeta report didn't change much from last week. You still see Luke and R2 climbing. Darth Vader's still number 1, but R2 with his number crunch is really starting. And it's still a ways away from overtaking it, but it will eventually. So will Luke with Binds All Things. I mean, Kylo, Darth Maul, and Vader are still in the top 5, but that's because way back in the day where everybody Zeta that. Same with Qui-Gon and Savage. But, you know, I think we talked about this previously. You're going to see a high rise of those with the light side, with especially with Finn. His Zeta is amazing in territory battles. So is Jin. You know, getting those Zetas on Luke and R2 and OG Han and those guys, I mean, just makes your territory battles so much easier. I mean, you go in there in a territory battle with Luke, Leia, and OG Han, with the Zeta on Luke and OG Han, I mean, you're just going to wreck shop with that team straight up. It's like stun, kill, counter, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it later, but I think Qui-Gon's lead may make a return.
Liar!
With the Phoenix Zetas, but we'll get to those at the end.
Are there still only 13 POW Zetas?
I think so. I haven't even looked at it. I'm only farming POW just to get him to 7 stars so I can throw him into like platoons if he's needed, because that kind of caught me by surprise. That one territory battle, I'm like, POW?
No, there's 18. 18 people have Zeta POW.
Oh, snap. I got the power.
Oh, man. There's a great Zeta.
Yeah. I mean, there's more Bodhis than POW. There's 28 Bodhi Zetas.
Shame on you. A pox in
I
your
think these
house.
are people that are either overloaded on Zetas, or they really need to watch our stream and not.
Yeah, don't.
No, those are accidents, man.
Yes, I can speak on that behalf because that happened to me with Cassian. Although that worked out really well. I gotta say,
what's POW Zeta? I think it's one of those Zetas that like looks good on paper,
and then you actually
gain 5% turn meter whenever a rebel ally uses a basic attack.
Like, oh,
yeah,
no.
which sounds cool, but doesn't actually do much.
No.
You're thinking like, oh yeah, everybody's doing basics like all the time. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get turn meter all the time with POW, and then okay, so you get turn meter with POW, and it's like, okay, so
my whole team's I'm dead.
What do you do with POW? Yeah, it's just like
Use his 80 turn cooldown ability.
Yeah.
I know his is 11. I'm just exaggerating.
Wow. That's right, BB. Hey, POW sucks. All right. I think we've had enough of this. Let's go back to the road ahead. I think it's time before Stu goes into convulsions. Next is ships, and we've got the Chimera kit reveal.
I'll read this and then bring up the abilities.
Huh?
The ship that's going to be so hard to get.
Yeah, so first up, we start the month with big news in ships. Grand Admiral Thrawn's capital ship, Chimera, is being added to the game in the first ship legendary event, and it goes all the way to 7 stars. With this addition, the other capital ships, Home 1, Executrix, and Endurance, can also be leveled up to 7 stars in a new event, Fleet Mastery.
Yeah.
This event series will return monthly and give players a chance to earn blueprints to bring their capital ships to 7 stars. Also, some highly sought-after ships are making their way into Cantina.
It's about damn time.
So keep an eye out for their locations. Finally, we are changing the reward structure for Fleet Arena. We're still working out the details, but we're hoping to make competition at the top end more ... rewarding.
Yes, yeah, whatever. To be clear, to clarify on just one thing, people have been confused about this. The Thrawn event is a legendary event, and that is not coming back every month. No. Only the events for the other capital ships are coming back every month. Thrawn event is legendary, so about every 3-4 months it'll come back around. Just to be clear on that, I saw on the forums a lot of people were like, "That's awesome that we're going to get to try for Chimera every month." It's like, no,
wrong.
No. And it's going to probably be very difficult because of one of the moves. Finn, are you going to be going over all the moves?
Yeah, we're going to look at the abilities right now. So you bring that up, Ranger?
Yes. All right. Name, Chimera. Alignment, dark side. Specialties. He likes long walks on the beach. He's a Cancer. Oh, no, sorry, I added that. Class, capital, categories, empire, capital ship.
How do you pronounce the ship again?
Chimera.
I thought you were going to pull a grande and pull like chimichanga.
Chimiara. Chimiaria. You know he would butcher that if he was here. We got the new ship at Chimimara. No, Grande. That's Chimera. Well, you say potato, I say potato. Crew, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Abilities. Basic, calculated strike. Final text. Target ally is called in to assist with 35% offense. Special ability 1. Art of War. Final text. All allies recover 20% health and gain a buff for 2 turns. Attacker offensive up. Support foresight. Tank defense up. Inflict debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This effect can't be evaded or resisted. Attacker offense down. Support ability block. Tank defense down. Special ability 2. I'm doing a grande. 5. Phylon 7. And this is Phylon 7. Tractor beam projectors. Final text. Deals special damage to all enemies and remove 20% turn meter. Crew ability. Ultimate. Strategic dominance. Strategic dominance. That was I was doing a grande interpretation. Final text.
Great, man.
Instantly defeat target enemy and deal damage to all remaining enemies equal to 40% of their max health. Good lord. Whew. Dispel all debuffs on target ally and grant them 100% health, 100% protection, 70% turn meter, and heal all other allies equal to 40% of their max health. Increase all cooldowns on enemy capital ship by 1. This ability starts on cooldown. Unique ability passive, fierce loyalty. Final text. All allies have plus 25% critical damage, doubled on Empire allies, and 50% critical chance. Jeez, all my Empire ships are going to have 50% critical damage. Game on! When an enemy is defeated, all allies gain 5% tenacity stacking until the end of battle. Reinforcement bonus, critical chance up to 2 turns. Man, this is making Empire looking creamy. General strategy. Calculated strike can be used to apply effects from other ships' basic abilities, giving you great flexibility with the utility provided by your capital ship. Art of War has a powerful impact on the battle. It bolsters your ships while reducing the effectiveness of the enemy ships, bringing strong utility to any phase of your fleet battles. Strategic dominance can help you bypass endurance damage to immunity on a taunt, or deal with that pesky TIE fighter. It is also the first ability to lock down the enemy capital ship's abilities, preventing them from reinforcing, using their ultimate, or taking any significant action for an additional turn. Ship synergies. With strong critical damage and critical chance boosts that are always active, Chimera is also about boosting allies to deal incredible damage consistently. Bringing Empire ships from the bonus of 25% critical damage will maximize your fleet's potential. Ships that have strong utility on their basic attacks go great with Chimera. Sunfax Geonosian Starfighter can target lock. Barbarian Starfighter can dispel. First Order TIE Fighter can grant itself 2 turn meter boosts. And Slave 1 can focus on doing a lot of damage. Being able to use the bonus effect on your ship's basic abilities more frequently can turn the tide of battle if you have a diverse toolbox. Alright, gentlemen. We've seen it. We've read it. We know it. Stu, what are your thoughts?
I think that's a badass ship.
Yes.
I think that shows that anybody who's been focusing on light side the whole time, even before territory battles, start gearing up the dark side, because it's coming, man. And it's OP, man. I mean, taking out an enemy with 1 hit, giving him like a Darth Nihilus type ability is pretty sweet, but also at the same time, like, do we really need that in ships right now?
Yes, do it. Dark side forever.
It is a good counter to like the Mace capital ship and Imperial TIE, which always seems to be dodging like crazy. I swear, I've had like Imperial TIEs down to like into the red, and they go like 5 straight attacks of just dodging. It's the most frustrating.
Get used to it, Finn. The dark side's coming for you. Your days of Admiral Akbar leading are over.
Well,
Are you running an Akbar lead too? That's what I've been running.
No, I run Executrix with full dark side lineup. I got besides Biggs, I have Biggs in there, but I run TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighter, Darth Vader's ship, and Advanced TIE Fighter, and then the Darth Maul ship. I couldn't think of the name at the top of my head. But that's my lineup. And then my reinforcements, Boba Fett, of course. And then I've got Ahsoka and Jedi Consular that I'm running right now.
Man, I just realized I run an Akbar lead in both Arena and Fleet Arena.
How dare you, sir?
God, I need the Rise of the Dark Side to come back.
Unleash
It's so sickening.
I feel your anger. It makes you stronger, Stu. It gives you focus.
Oh, I can feel it in my pectorals.
It's from working out. That's not the dark side.
Yeah.
Loki. What do you think, my friend?
I agree with the panel on the ship itself. It's going to be interesting getting all the capital ships to 7-star now because that gives you the extra reinforcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm looking forward to that more, just to see, what that's going to do to the higher end arena and ships. But the ship itself sounds OP. I hope they bring out other ships as well. I mean,
Yeah, but this is a good first step, I think.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the requirements, though? It hasn't been mentioned yet, right?
Well,
It's a legendary event, but you think we're going to need the 7-star Phoenix ships?
Yep.
You think we're going to need a Millennium Falcon at 7 stars?
I hope not.
So,
I mean, I've got mine at 6 stars right now. I'm working on 7, but it's like, good Lord in heaven.
You got a
your Millennium Falcon?
No, I'm talking about the ghost stuff.
I was like, you have a 6-star Millennium Falcon? What the hell?
I've got a 4-star Kylo Ren ship. We know how that worked out.
I need
I'm
receipts
glad
of
that
what
we'll be able
you're
to
spending our donation
farm.
money on, sir.
We'll finally be able to farm those ships. My God in heaven! It's so. That's the other thing I'm happy about.
Wouldn't it be horrible if we needed a 7-star Cassian's U-Wing? I mean, wouldn't that be just horrible?
So, my guess is going to be that. So,
I think it's just you need 7-star ships just to beat it, right? Either dark side or light side.
Well, I don't think it's going to be all. So, it wouldn't be surprising to me if Phantom and Ghost are needed in order to get Thrawn ship, right? All the legendaries so far have been fairly restrictive on what you can use. So, I think Phantom and Ghost would be part of what's going to be needed. Now, their tags are Phoenix, but there's only 2 Phoenix ships.
Yeah.
Their other tag is Rebels. So with Rebels, you have Admiral Akbar's capital ship. Then you have Biggs, Wedge, Biston, and Cassian's U-Wing, along with Ghost and Phantom. So my guess as to what the requirements would be that it's going to be Rebels. So you're going to need a 7-star home one. And then, I mean, it depends how they do it. Like squads, in territory battles, the ship areas only require you to have 3 ships. So it's possible that they only do 3, but I think because they probably want you to have Phantom and Ghost, they'll probably make you need 5 of the other Rebel ships. So I would suggest that you work on home 1. And I think I'm in the same position as Stu, that home 1 is my ship right now in Fleet Arena anyways. I have all the other ones also pretty much maxed out, level 85, and I'm finishing off the abilities. I just don't care about Arena in Fleet. So I'm using home 1, and then you'll probably want to get Biggs, Wedge, Biston, and Phantom and Ghost. And that would be what you would probably want for Thrawn event if you're trying to guess now.
Yeah, I agree with you. That sounds good.
I'm afraid though. I don't know what they plan on doing to make Fleet Arena more rewarding.
Yeah.
I'm kind of against them doing anything like that. I can't spend 6 o'clock right now or 7 o'clock doing Arena, and then also 8 o'clock doing Fleet Arena. I like the fact
do it, Finn, and you'll like it.
It's going to be too much of a time sink.
Well,
they're going to the point where they're encroaching way too much on specific time frames for people, and it's not convenient.
You know what else is not convenient, Finn? You're complaining about dark side stuff. We're sick of it.
I like the dark side stuff.
No, Mr. I sleep with the Ewok.
Well, I like Ewok, and I like dark side because that provides more for my
Finn,
Ewok.
Hey, Finn, I wanted to add to your comment about probably needing rebel ships. So we currently only have 6 regular rebel ships, one of them being Cassian's Ewing, and then Home 1, and that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't even have Cassian's Ewing unlocked. So, that leaves me with 5 ships and a capital ship, and that's it. I don't got reinforcements.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same position. I don't have any reinforcements either. But if their actions as of late, so it used to be that we would see that they were using factions that had at least like 10 characters for their legendary events when they started out with like Yoda and Palpatine. But with Thrawn, you saw that it's much different, right? Thrawn was only the Phoenix. There was only 6 of them. They didn't really have much time. So Phoenix was a very limited. Commander Luke is a little bit different because it was like kind of a super special event. But Commander Luke was even rarer because you needed specific rebels, then you needed the Empire in order to get R2, and then you were able to get him. So Commander Luke was even more rare. We have no idea what's going to be happening with Night Sisters. They said they're introducing more Night Sisters. It's possible. Probably not this month because it's already kind of loaded up with legendaries between I think it's Yoda, R2 at the end, and then Thrawn coming back. But if they introduce like a Mother Talzine and she needs Night Sisters, they may introduce new Night Sisters like Luce, for example, which has kind of been floating around. But otherwise, for most people, it'll be the 5 Night Sisters that were already in the game that would be needed for Mother Talzine. So I don't think it would be out of the norm with the latest actions by CG to have a faction that only has 1 capital ship with a character that I would say is a fairly commonly farmed character. I think a lot of people have Akbar compared to Mace for sure. And I mean, Tarkin also, especially everything is so light side and rebel based now. I would imagine that most people have Akbar. Whether or not they got the ship is a different thing, but I'm guessing they have enough to figure out his ship. And then the other rebel ships, like a lot of them are fairly useful overall. Wedge is an easy one to get out of Galactic War.
Oh yeah.
So is Biggs.
Biggs, Wedge, you can get.
Biston is a little bit trickier, but I mean, by this time we've had so much time in order to farm ships that it's not. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, I think we'll have time. We'll be good. All right.
Yeah. If you're guessing, that's what I would suggest you start working on. Farm those rebel ships up.
That's right. Time to do it. All right. What's next, Finnadoodle?
Well, what do you guys think in terms of the rewards part? Since that's the part that freaks me out. What do you think they can potentially do to make Fleet more rewarding and
just give us more stuff? You know?
Do you want crystals or just more tokens?
I want more tokens because that's how you get Zetas. For me, that's the most important thing. The only thing I do is I farm rare ships and I get Zetas. You know, I mean, I don't need, you know, the ships, of course you should be doing this. If you have ships in GW, do not farm them in the ship store, please. But like Ghost, you know, those kind of rare ships, like Gar Saxon ship. I mean, I just finished TIE Advance and now I'm working on Gar Saxon and Ghost and stuff. And, I do a couple ships a day, and then I get a Zeta. You know, that's what I'm working on, because I'm going to do OG Han's Zeta, and then I'll probably go heavy in ships with this new ship stuff coming out, but we'll see what happens.
Well, one thing, and this is going to lead me into a rant, but one
oh my god, it's a rant from...
Well, one of the biggest problems I have right now with the game and how they've been doing everything is now we have a serious game economy problem. Because they keep on releasing so many characters at once. I agree. Great point. These characters are requiring so many stun cuffs, so many stun guns, so many Carbantes.
Credits.
And it's hard to get them. And then, yeah, exactly. And then, you know, with the Carbani challenge, why in the hell does it say that we can get a 7-drop when you when you never get a 7 drop, and most of the time my drops are 3 Carbonis at a time. The economy isn't keeping up with the demand of the characters. Like with the Zetas with the
and
horrible
Omegas
drop rates that you get with Omegas and Zetas. But even with the Zetas now, we're getting characters that have multiple Zetas. They're releasing a whole faction that gets Zetas now. Somebody asked me what my opinion was on the new Phoenix Zetas, and I was like, it doesn't matter. Zetas don't drop. So what do you want us to do? There's a constant credit crunch for everyone at all times, except if you're obviously paying a whole bunch of money into it. But with the credit heist, it's such a huge sweeping range that, I mean, you can get completely screwed and only get 3 million credits. Well, what's 3 million credits going to get you? Honestly,
half a level of
you can swap around. You can swap around mods a couple of times, and then you're screwed. Or you can throw on a couple pieces of gear. With leveling up being so expensive, with gearing being so expensive, with swapping mods being so expensive, sooner or later they're going to have to stop suckling at TI's teat here, or having TI suckling the other way.
How dare you, sir? That doesn't happen.
And start making stuff more accessible to us.
I agree with that.
There's such a huge influx and need for all these syringes and stun guns and blah. We just can't get these unless you pay money. And I understand they need to make money. I get that. But look, people who are going to pay money are going to pay money. But it doesn't need to come at the expense of everybody else just wanting to enjoy the game. And I think that's where a lot of people are going to start getting burnt out, because we're getting all these new characters. People want the new characters, but they want to be useful.
Yeah,
and the ships. But here's the catch: you have to have these characters to play. You have to, or else you don't get to participate. You don't get to play in certain areas or certain aspects of the game, or you don't even get to unlock certain characters. So sooner or later, they're just going to have to say, look, no more with the 3 Carboni drops. Here's 7. More. Oh yeah, I know, Nathaniel. But that's my little rant where the economy is falling behind. The in-game economy is falling behind of the content that's being released. And even if you put money into the game, even if it's like $20 a week or something, which is still a lot of money to put into a mobile game, you're still not even keeping pace. Mm-hmm. You're still not getting the Zetas and stuff. And yeah, people are already starting to say that they're getting burnt out a little bit. And part of that is because you can't level up these characters fast enough. I mean, I'm constantly out of credits. And I don't mean like, oh, I've fallen below 10 million credits. I mean, I have 100K credits left, and I go to put on some gear on somebody, and nope, you can't do that because for whatever reason that costs 120K credits. That's my rant. I gotta go. You guys have fun with the rest of your stream.
Always good to have you around, Stu.
Thanks for dropping by.
No problem, guys. Take it easy.
This has been Rant from Stu Garden. It's 9:38 p.m. here on the East Coast on NPR. And thanks for Stu for coming by.
So I'm gonna post it in the chat as well here. But there was a post by Captain Rex, who's on our RSG Discord, and he posted it on the forum, where he basically calculated how long it would take in order to get all of the Zetas that are necessary right now, because they're releasing a lot of characters. We have 6 new Zetas coming with the Phoenix, right? Mm-hmm. So whether it's releasing new characters, whether it's adding Zetas to existing characters, they're adding so much more. The only ways to get Zetas right now, assuming you're not in Japan, which is like a whole different issue, is basically getting the challenges or buying them from your fleet shipments. And he ran the numbers where basically if you spent every single fleet token that you have, and if you were getting number 1, that it would take you at this point right now, assuming you're not including the challenges, just spending all your number 1 payout money to get Zetas, it would take you roughly 4 years in order to finish every single Zeta.
That's incredible.
because there's currently I think it was 23 Zeta abilities, and then you need 20 for each of them. So I mean, there's 67 Zeta abilities in the game. You need 20 for each of them. You're only getting about like 6 per week if you're spending 6 to 7 per week if you spend all of your tokens. You're literally looking at about 4 years for if you're trying to get every single Zeta. That's crazy. So to Stu's point, you definitely are falling behind in the economy. Zetas are, I mean, I understand the concept of Zetas. They want it so you're focusing on particular characters that you're trying to boost. It's supposed to give you an advantage, not an overpowering advantage. But if it gets to the point where you have all these characters that are getting Zetas and you don't have the ability to actually Zeta them, what you have people doing is just saving up Zetas, and then that's not really playing the game. You're going to have people always wondering, is the next Zeta going to be better? When are they putting out a next Zeta? Is a new character going to be coming out? You've lost kind of the entertainment of the game of just playing around. And as much as we were joking about it earlier, we don't get the option to put a Zeta on POW and see if he works out, right? If you do that, you're basically wasting like 3 weeks of work in order to try and get the 20 Zetas. And it's 3 weeks if you're lucky. Mm-hmm. And so you're kind of removing the fun from the game if you're not being careful about how you're developing this economy. Part of it is the credits. Omegas they worked on, I think, fairly well. They introduced kind of those Omega battles. They came out with it. And I think a rarity to Zetas is a good thing. However,
but not at this level. Well, you've got to increase the rarity level per how many Zetas you're introducing, you know, because we got the Phoenix characters that have Zetas. You know, I mean, if you're going to keep increasing the amount of Zetas, which is what is happening, but you're keeping the amount that you can get per week at the same that it's been since the beginning, then that doesn't make sense. Right? You should, you know, like back in the day where we were really hurting for credits. I mean, if you think the credit crunch is bad now, back in the day, it was horrifying. So they adjusted the economy to meet that need. You can still make Zetas, you know, rare, but you need to up the chance to get them a little bit more because you keep putting it as, I mean, Stu's point is right on, CG. You need to listen to this. You know, you can still keep it rare, but increase the rate a little bit so that you got to meet the demand of what you're creating. You know, if you're going to leave us in the dust, you're going to lose players because great point, Finn. If you can't play your character that you love maxed, you know, because you can't get the Zeta right off the back and stuff. I mean, it's a tough choice when you get Zetas. You know, and some of us have Zetas that we can't use right now because they're impotent. They have no purpose whatsoever. I have Zetas on Kylo and Darth Maul and Vader, and you know, down the line, it's like I don't use those characters hardly. It's like, you know. But that's a choice you have to make when you do the Zeta. And because they're such a rare ability, it's a tough choice. Do I Zeta this person or do I save them? You know, it's really tough. It really is.
Yeah.
And, Gear's another issue too, Dean Cyril. I mean, Gear's another issue. I mean, but
Gear's interesting though.
Yeah, they did say that they were working on that. You know, they are working on that. They are looking at that. So, I mean, that's something that they're aware of. You know,
and two things with that too. Warrior, I think it was Warrior on Jedi Academy had mentioned that if you take a character to Gear 12, it actually shows that the next gear level is actually Gear 12 as well. So it may be that they're kind of capping the gear at Gear 12. So if that's the case, and we're not necessarily worrying about Gear 13, and it's more going to be about leveling moving forward,
that's fine.
I don't necessarily think it's going to be too bad if they keep it kind of restrictive. They're introducing a lot of ways to get it, but if there's a cap on it, it's a little bit different, I think.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, to CG's credit, and I think it makes sense from their perspective to do it this way. Obviously, there's always a pendulum, right? Once it swings too far, they try to swing it back. And with all this thing, like you mentioned, the credit crunch, there's still a bit of a credit crunch.
Yeah.
But that's because they're introducing so much in the game. But it was really, really bad a few months ago. And then they introduced the credit heist.
And they upped GW rewards and stuff.
They upped GWs. Like, they made a bunch of different changes. And I think it makes sense from their perspective to do it once you actually hit that crunch, right? it's better to do it then than to try and introduce this stuff early and then never reach that point, because they do have to make money. They need to make people feel that need in order to try and get these things, maybe get them to spend money in order to try and make it easier on them, because that's essentially what money is in these games. It's to make your life easier. You're basically paying to save yourself some time. So but after it's always gotten to that point where it feels like it's gotten too much, that it's just overwhelming. The credit crunch was too overwhelming. The gear crunch was too overwhelming. The Omega crunch was overwhelming. They always introduce something in order to try and bring it back. And I don't think they're ever going to overshoot it to the point where you feel like you have an excess, except for maybe training droids, and that I don't understand at all. Mm-hmm. But outside of training droids, everything else is pretty much at the point where you have to manage your resources. That's essentially what this game is. I think it's now to the point, especially after they introduced 6 Zetas at once with the Phoenix, that it's probably that where Zetas are just to the point where you're getting to that
left in the dust.
I'll call it a trigger point. Yeah. Where there's going to be frustration amongst the players.
I mean, Stu's point about the Phoenix, like, for me, it's like, great, Phoenix is getting Zetas. I don't care. It's not a priority. And I don't even have the Zetas to do it, you know? I mean, I've been focusing Zetas on territory battles, you know, with Luke and R2 and Finn and Cassian and Jyn. It's like, you know, to get to the point where it's like, me? Loki, you've been very quiet. Did we lose Loki?
No,
He's still
I'm
here.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You're so quiet.
No,
dude.
I'm here. I'm just listening. No, I mean, going back to how are they going to tweak rewards at the higher end of the ship arena? They might, you know, I can see them probably adding. We have ship Omegas, right? And we got a piece of that when you could buy packs, you know, the Phoenix pack or whatever they had, and you get little pieces of Omegas for the ships. So, you know, do I see that happening? It might happen. You know, maybe they add crystals. I don't know. I mean, they kind of mentioned in that post that they're going to make it worthwhile, right, to reach the top, because it's kind of like what Finn mentioned earlier is a lot of people, maybe 90% of the crowd, you know, of the players really don't care their rank in ships right now. There's no incentive to do it, right? So maybe they do make it sweeter at the top. They like to put those little mystery boxes and everything, so maybe they throw a mystery box at the top 5 or something. I mean, I don't know. But they seem to like that little pay structure. I mean, they introduced it in they introduced the mystery box in tournaments, right? So it seems to be in that direction, that they want to put a random box that spits out like three rewards, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the easy way to do it. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious myself. I agree with I agree with everything that was said. You know, I'm also in the same boat. I'd love to have another way of getting Zetas. Maybe, you know, maybe they add PvE content to ships. I don't know, because, you know, they did it on Cantina where you can possibly get Omegas, but those things never drop. I mean, I've probably gotten 1 or 2 in my whole career of this game, you know, from the Cantina nodes. So, you know, maybe they do add a daily 1 Zeta or something, or 1 complete Zeta at the top of the ship arena. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's an interesting point. All right, let's try to get through the rest of this road ahead, because we're getting near the 10 o'clock, and I do want to get to questions. Where were we, Finn? Night Sisters? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we're up to Night Sisters. And I'm going to reword this a little bit.
Why?
So, October will also see one of our more popular factions to Grande Patron get an much requested update. I don't know.
Wait, one of our more popular factions. What are you guys sniffing? Nobody.
It's because Grande is representing them every single week on the stream.
Well, but no. Wrong, no.
Everyone loves the old woman. All right.
Oh, Lord.
So we're introducing several new Night Sister characters, so be on the lookout for their events. Finally, we're going to end the month with a spirited seasonal event. Let's see what else we can dig up with the Night Sisters.
Oh, goody.
So there was the link floating around for Luce, Luce, on from the GG page. It looks like there's a little bit more stats laid out for Luce compared to some of the other Night Sisters. Mother Talzine is on there as kind of like a shell.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean she's coming yet, but I think it would make sense that she is somehow related to the seasonal event, and there's probably some other smaller Night Sisters that are coming out in marquee events. Yeah, I mean, I'm farming Night Sisters. I don't know about you guys. I'm farming my Night Sisters because I don't know what to expect. But ever since they mentioned the Night Sister rework, I've been farming them. So my Acolyte is about, I think, 50 shards away from 7-star, and then my Talia is like halfway to 6-star.
I just started, but Talia is not on a priority. I mean, Initiate and Acolyte you can get. I mean, but our most popular, one of our more popular factions.
To Grande Patron.
Yes,
we have to.
We added that in, CG. You need to reword this.
I don't know if they want to call out Grande as the reason for a Night Sister rework.
We know it's true. So you're not telling the community or anything, something that's not known already.
That's why they let us do it. We're the ones that tell the truth.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then last but not least, we got the Star Wars.
What's the road ahead?
Yeah, well, yeah. That's what I was getting to. The Galaxy. Well, no, it was Galaxy of Heroes, Google Play gift card stuff.
Yeah, and then we'll briefly go through the Phoenix Zetas.
Yeah,
well. I put that link in Skype.
I don't have the link, but it's okay.
I just put it in Skype. It's at the.
Oh well, I'll just go ahead and get that.
Yeah, so I'll read the last part. This one is probably a little bit of a discussion too. So, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Google Play gift cards. This holiday season, we've teamed up with Google to give Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes players up to $50 in-game bonus with the purchase of Google Play gift cards. These in-game bonuses include Rey from Star Wars The Force Awakens, as well as crystals. In the weeks ahead, you should start to see Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes branded Google Play gift card kiosks at major retailers around the world, so keep an eye out for them. Finally, on behalf of the entire team at Capital Games, we want to express our gratitude to our players. With your continued participation, support, and feedback, we will work hard to bring a bigger and better experience to the most successful Star Wars mobile game in history. All right.
DN Cyril says Ranger looks burnt out. I'm not burnt out. I'm just tired. Me and Finn, we work all day. We do school, and then we're streaming. So I look burnt out. I'm not burnt out.
And we research all this stuff.
Yeah. Then we do all this stuff for the streaming, and it's like So gift cards, great. I don't really have anything to say about that.
I don't know.
I
know it's not CG's fault. So if Google comes to CG and says we want to do this and we want to give you money,
it makes sense. I mean, I'm fine with that.
It makes sense from their perspective. It kind of screws Apple players again, though.
Well, it's time. It's 2017. Apple's dead. Let's move on to the now.
That's so not true, but still, I know it's not their issue. So CG is doing. I have no issue with CG actually being a part of this. It's just that the bonuses in game. I know they're Rey shards. So and Rey's kind of been in the game for a long time. They specifically mentioned Rey from Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So it seems to make sense that maybe Rey will somehow be that Last Jedi character. But it's.
Great.
So
I love it.
It's just interesting. I don't know. What do you think about kind of the disparity that's growing between Google and Apple? Loki.
I mean, I plan on Apple, so I'm not taking advantage of this whole thing. Actually, no, I have an alt on Google Play, so I did dip a little bit into the rewards.
20K crystals.
Yeah, I get 20K from Apple.
I think Loki's going to get like a bunch of these gift cards in the mail. Like, oh, Mr. Loki, thank you for playing. We appreciate you.
No, I bought Walmart gift cards on Walmart's site. Works perfect. No, but I think it's cool. It's great for Android players. Sucks for Apple players that it's one-sided. I think CG should also offer a similar incentive, even though they're not teaming up with Apple, but they need to make the Apple players happy too. So
yeah.
You know,
but if Apple isn't paying them, so that's the problem, right? Apple is being cheapskates and they're not paying for it.
Well, then this is what happens.
No,
moving
but
on.
CG, I think CG should you know, be proactive about it and give Apple players something. You know.
Yeah. So if Apple players buy Google Play gift card, you can get.
Send them to the Ranger J, Loki, and Finn like Free Crap Foundation.
Yes.
Finn, I would buy my 3-pack of $10 Google Play if I got Apple incentives, and I'll send them to you, man. They're my gift to you.
There you go. Totally. See, now quit your bitching, Finn. We're sick of you.
Well, now we need to make it happen. So.
No, yeah, Loki, you get to deal with the child. It's your week with Finn. All right, I had him last week. It's your
problem,
week.
Man.
Yeah,
that's my homie.
No, he's the child. No, I made sure to bring. I brought his blankie and his Ewok for you, and I brought some of his gummy bear snacks that he likes. So
we're gonna play with our pop art.
It's not gummy bears. It's shards. I like the gummy shards.
Gummy shards. There you go. 700 potions.
But yeah, I mean, it's not. It was interesting. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody had made the comment that if like, it's one thing if Google makes a promo and they give away like a free shirt or something, but when they're giving in-game rewards, it kind of changes the dynamic. I saw a screenshot of somebody that was basically trading in like 700 ray shards for stuff in the shard shop, which now gets gear. So, I mean, it can make an impact in the game, plus all the crystals and everything. And you basically just have to add the Google Play account or the card to your account. You don't even have to spend it on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So it really is like free crystals for just adding it to the purchase. So, I mean, it's interesting. I don't blame CG for doing it. If Google's coming and giving us money, we'd probably do the same thing and basically say screw Apple. But
yeah,
I mean,
I saw something we need to talk. We can get, what is it, sponsored on YouTube now? Google, if you want to sponsor us, by all means, sponsor us. Or something like that. We need to look at that, fam. Let's get some sponsors.
We will dump Wales Fargo for Google in a heartbeat.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Wales Fargo, but Google takes precedent.
Yeah, Google comes and says, you have to shiv Grande. Dead. All right, what do we need?
This is so awful. We're just dumping Wales Fargo. They just came out with a new credit.
Well, he's their spokesman. He's got to go.
We will dump Grande Patron tequila in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. If we had a real tequila company said, you know what, guys, we like what you're doing. You know, we'll sponsor you. And it's like, oh, Grande Patron tequila. Go put that in your car as gasoline.
But we have to keep Baby Ranger on board. He's a good sponsor.
Yeah, he is, because Finn just likes doing the voice.
I think Google can get behind adult diapers. I think that can be one of their products.
I mean, they're open to new ideas as long as they're fresh and, you know, hip. All right, let's go through these Zetas, and then we'll get to the questions. So we have the Phoenix Zeta and Omega changes.
Just so you know, by the way, Ranger, there might be another content update dropping soon. So
I figured
we'll keep an eye out for that. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the Phoenix Zetas then.
Yeah, we got Hera, Plate of Strengths. Zeta upgrade, 25% potency, and dispel all debuffs. Reduce cooldowns by 1 and grants 50% turn meter if target is Phoenix. Final ability, call another target ally to assist. The ally's attack has 50% potency and deal 35% more damage if target ally is Phoenix. Dispel all debuffs. Reduce their cooldowns by 1 and grants 50% turn meter. Kanan, total defense. Zeta upgrade, dispel all debuffs on Phoenix allies Grant Kanan and target ally foresight for 2 turns and defense up to all Phoenix allies for 3 turns. And when each foresight expires, Kanan gains 100% turn meter and other Phoenix gain 50% turn meter. Final ability text, Kanan dispels all debuffs from Phoenix allies, grants themselves and target ally foresighted protection up 40% for 2 turns. Also grants all Phoenix allies defense up for 3 turns. Kanan gives 100% turn meter when each foresight expires and other Phoenix allies gain 50% turn meter.
So that one is the one that I thought was interesting because of a Qui-Gon Jinn lead. The interesting thing about that one is also the Phoenix all had level 7 special abilities, not unique abilities. So all of these are specials. If you read the second part of Kanan's ability, which is essentially Kanan gains 100% turn meter when each foresight expires, and other Phoenix gain 50% turn meter. If you can, it looks like it's a unique ability hidden inside of a special ability. Because this is something that's going to be lingering on, right? Kanan gains 100% turn meter when each foresight expires. The question is it the same foresights that he put up in that special, or is it any? Because if you then put him under like a Qui-Gon Jinn lead team who's putting up foresight all the time, you can maybe put like a Zeta Yoda, then you put like Kanan and Ezra, and then you put I don't know who you want to put in there. Put in a Zeras just to be a nuisance. Like, you could get Kanan going repeatedly with all the foresight that's going to be popping up. So
that's an interesting point. Oh, hey, Shay Locomotive just donated $20. She said she'll sponsor us.
Thank you, Shay.
Good, Shay. I feel the credits flowing through you. No, thank you very much, Shay. Shay's great support of the channel. Appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. All right, Zabine, Zeta, upgrade, demolish, 50% bonus damage for each active Phoenix ally, stagger all enemies, my God in heaven. Grants all Phoenix allies offensive up and critical chance up for 2 turns and expose target enemy, then inflict additional expose on random enemy for each other active Phoenix ally, reduce cooldown of demolish by 2 if the attack scores a critical hit. Final ability text, deal physical damage, inflicts stagger to all enemies for 2 turns, grants all Phoenix allies expose up and critical chance up for 2 turns, expose target enemy and inflict additional exposes on random enemies for each other active Phoenix ally. This attack can't be countered or evaded and deals 50% bonus damage for each active Phoenix ally. If this attack scores a critical hit, reduce Sabine's cooldown by 2. Jesus Christ.
I think Sabine is now going to be part of the Phoenix, assuming you have her Zeta, if you're Zetaing anyone. She's probably going to replace somebody on your Phoenix squad in territory battles. That basically makes... I know there was a lot of discussion between like Chopper versus Kanan, and I think more people are running Kanan and putting Sabine on the sidelines and running the other 5 Phoenix, but I think the Zeta is just ridiculous.
Did I say she? I'm sorry. You're a man. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Sorry, Shay. Man. He's a man.
And now he wishes that he didn't give us the $20.
I know. He's like, I'll show them, stupid Ranger and Finn. Well, if I had alcohol, I'd drink. I owe you one. Wow. All right, let's just Zeta for Ezra. Good Lord. Zeta upgrade 50% damage, 25% turn meter gain, and gains defense up for 2 turns. Final ability text, deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all buffs on them. If the enemy had no buffs, attack cooldown is reduced by 1, and Ezra gains 75% turn meter instead. Ezra gains defense buff for 2 turns. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's just an increase on his already kind of massive damage.
I said I'm sorry. Shut your pie hole, chat.
You're not stopping that.
Yeah. Woman. Shay gets 700 potions. All right. Zeb, staggering sweep. Zeta upgrade. Cooldown -1 plus 75% damage and 20% bonus damage equal to enemy's maximum health if the target has no debuff. Ignores armor if target is buffed. Gain 50% critical damage if the target is debuffed. This attack can't be evaded, and Zeb gains 10% turn meter for each active Phoenix ally. Final ability text, deal physical damage to target enemy and stagger them for 1 turn. If the target has no debuffs, this attack deals 100% more damage with bonus damage equal to 20% of the enemy's maximum health, and stagger can't be resisted. If the target is buffed, this attack ignores armor. If the target is debuffed, gain 50% critical damage. This attack can't be evaded, and Zed gains 10% turn meter for each active Phoenix ally. My God in heaven.
All right, so this one's actually interesting. So for 2 reasons. One, I don't really think this is all that worth it because you're probably using a basic with Zeb anyways.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to get your days and everything off. I don't think Zeb's special is really anything that really needs to be Zeta. It's a nice one, but I don't feel like it's necessary considering how you're going to use it. But to go with what our title was for the stream, he is the first character that we refer to with a Z that's getting a Zeta. So, how are we going to refer to Zeb when he's Zeta?
ZZ Zeb.
Is it ZZ Zeb?
Zebs.
And he gets
this is
4 portions.
This is the important talking point now. How do we name a Zeta? Is it Zebz?
We'll ask Grande next time. He'll come up with something stupid. Like pronounce that that the way we worded it, Grande. No, Grande. What is this, French? No, it's not French, Grande. Let's see.
Graham was saying Zor to go off his last name, but nobody calls him anything with his last name. He's just Zeb. Like, even his first name is Gara Zeb, but we don't say it. We could call him Z Gara.
We could.
But then we're kind of changing it. I don't think anyone wants to type out.
That's too many
Gara
syllables already, man.
Yeah, I know.
All right, my brain's melting. Let's move on to Chopper. My God in heaven. Or the Chopper.
The Chopper. That's actually not the Chopper.
The Zeb.
Chopper is the only one that's getting a rework and
the
not
Chopper.
a Zeta. He's not getting a Zeta.
Au contraire, mon frère. Let's see. Reckless Fleeing. A mega upgrade. 10% cooldown, reduction chance, and also applies to droid allies. Final ability text. Deal physical damage to target enemy and grant a random Phoenix or droid ally offensive up, defensive up, or speed up at a random for 2 turns, with a 60% chance to also reduce that ally's cooldown by 1. Chopper maintenance protocols. 4% heal, 4% protection. Chopper has a 30% chance to assist when another Phoenix or droid ally uses an ability during their turn. This effect is not shared. Final ability text. At the start of his turn, Chopper recovers 50% of his max health. In addition, whenever he is damaged by an attack, he gains protection at 50% if he doesn't have protection up. Additionally, Chopper has 30% chance to assist with another Phoenix character or droid ally uses an ability during their turn. This effect is not shared. They really wanted to point that out, that it's not shared.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was actually a point of question, I think. Yeah.
Mine.
On the Chopper, he shall be the tonter.
He's not a Zeta Chopper.
He should be.
No, he only has Omega. No, he's Irish. He's Chopper.
Oh, he's Chopper. Hey, Chopper, join the Z crew. Join all the froggies over there on the side.
I want to make a trash can team for Arena, man,
I know.
with Chopper and BB-8 and R2, and then just General Kenobi lead with Zeta Barris. Just have a trash can team like that.
I'll give you half a portion for the trash can.
Chopper.
Oh, it talks. 3/4 of a portion. Wow. All right, general strategy. If you're having trouble completing the Phoenix-specific node in territory battles, try upgrading a few of the new Zetas for a quick boost of power and sustainability. Well, we would need Zetas for that to happen. Sabine's Zeta upgrade on Demolish is especially powerful for the Phoenix faction. Yes, it is, as a combination of critical chance and offensive up is a rare combination to find in one move. Ezra's Zeta upgrade on Flourish gives him a pseudo-burst attack, or pseudo, as Ronnie would say, considering he gains 75% turn meter where targeted enemy without buffs. Keenan's Zeta upgrade on total defense, now provides a group cleanse for Phoenix Squad, along with the mechanics to use it much more often. hero synergies. The change to Chopper makes him more effective within the Phoenix squad and also allows him to serve as a useful tank for droids as he provides buffs and reduces cooldowns to droid allies. Ezra is extremely versatile in different teams, giving he acts as an efficient DPS dealer under both the Jedi and Rebel tags. Also worth pointing out is that Ezra's flourish is described as getting 75% turn meter, which is true. However, the additional 20% turn meter he gets under Harley results in him generating 95% turn meter, which means he gets to go again almost immediately. All right. And where to use. With their new Zeta upgrades, the Phoenix faction competes with some of the best teams on the tank phase of the Rogue AT. Phoenix Squad shines in territory battles as they can keep themselves in the fight and get the job done. Phoenix now also provides a quick climber team for Squad Arena and represents a particularly worthy investment for newer players looking for a good all-around squad. That's quite a lot of upgrades. Loki, your thoughts?
It's not enough for me to say to them.
No.
I
mean,
don't know,
I like the one for Sabine was really nice. Kaney was a nice one. The other ones are okay. They're cool. I like that they have Mega Chopper, but I mean, I don't know. I don't have 5 Zetas just hanging around. Just like, oh, well, hello there.
I don't
Phoenix.
have one hanging around.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get to. Somebody's saying the update is up. Okay.
Yeah.
Extend the stream another 3 hours.
Here we go.
No, but going back to the Phoenix, I mean, I guess if you're a newer player, maybe invest in them. I don't know, because you can use them in different parts of the game.
I mean,
but
yeah,
I wouldn't do it just.
No.
I wouldn't do it just for territory battle.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
They're not that. I mean, they have their specific battles, but I mean, oh Lord, we have another update.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. We have to go through it.
Oh no.
We were right, by the way.
All right, let me put it in here since we got
You're
through.
always right, Finn.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
So.
All right, let's look at this.
I'll start off while Ranger is getting it up. So.
Wait! What did you just say?
Yeah, I know. I figured you'd catch that.
You're such a piece of crap.
I know you have a hard time getting it up. I'm giving you time.
That's what.
Damn.
That's why I have Viagra, dark side Viagra.
All right, so.
Finn, you
Chimera
get half a portion of Viagra.
So, the Artist of War returns and introduces the first 7-star capital ship to Galaxy of Heroes. In our first legendary ship event, band together with the heroes of the Rebels and other pilots and the Rebellion. So for the Thrawn event, for the legendary, the recommended is level 60. The ships that you will need are going to be Ghost, Phantom, and the Rebel ships. So it looks like we were right on our guesses there. Required capital ship is Home 1. And to launch, so you'll launch Ghost, Phantom 1, and Rebel ships and battle the legendary flagship of Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Chimera. Succeed and earn blueprints for the Chimera. Yeah. So power up your existing 6-star capital ships to 7-star in these 3 new events. So they added another Fleet Mastery to Home 1, Endurance, and Executrix. I'm checking in game now to see whether or not it's popping up in the challenges there once I get the game restart. See what's going. Actually, I don't think it's been pushed to the game yet.
TIE Reaper Light Side 9B. Interesting.
Yeah.
Great.
So
that's great.
No,
yeah. So now there's a new achievement for all of the different things. Oh, Fleet Arena. Oh, really? The top 20 spots in Fleet Arena now have a crystal reward.
We think we called it. Double drops in Phantom 2. Bolster your forces and prepare for Chimera with double drops in Ghost and Phantom. Earn extra charge for Ghost and Phantom 2 from ship nodes from 10.7 to 10.9.
Okay.
Okay, that's cool. They're doing double drops. That's cool.
They're doing double drops, yeah.
Phoenix Squad gets Zeta. We already talked about that. New ship locations. Okay, so Type Reaper, Cassian's U-Wing, Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, and the Millennium Falcon Episode 7 are now available in the Cantina. In addition to a special limited time bundle available in the store, these 4 ships are now farmable in the following location. Where are they? In the Cantina.
TIE Reaper is in light side
9B. Cassian U-Wing Cantina Battle Shipment Store when ship feature unlocks. Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle light side hard 9A. Millennium Falcon is dark side 5D. Packs and bundles. Phoenix Marquee Bundle Reactivation. With the resurgence of the Artists of War, Phoenix Squadron heroes must be ready. Power up your squads with bundles with Keenan, Hera, Choppa, Sabine, Ezra, and Zeb, which will be active from 10.5 to 10.15. They are reactivations of our previous Marquee bundles, so any previously purchased bundles will not appear for you. Freedom Fighter Faction Pack. Power up your Rebel ships with the Freedom Fighter Faction Pack. Each pack awards 1 card of ship blueprints for Rebel ships. Possible characters: Ghost, Phantom, Cassian, Bissian, Biggs, Wedge. Maximum 10 purchases per day. Minimum level 60 plus and unlock the ship feature. Freedom Fighter Ultimate Bundle. Pair up your Rebel ships to help unlock Chimera. This bundle includes ship blueprints for all Rebel ships and materials to immediately level up all ships. Pack contents include ship Ghost 60, Phantom 60, Cassian 80, Biston 60, Biggs 25, Wedge 25, ship credits 3 million, trading droids, and ship reinforcement bundles. Maximum purchase 1, doesn't say the price. Minimum level 60 and unlocks a ship feature. Reinforcement bundle. Several ships are now being released to the Cantina. Power up your journey with a bundle containing TIE Reaper, Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, Cassian U-Wing, and Millennium Falcon. Pack context include Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle times 30, Millennium Falcon times 30, Cassian's times 30, TIE Reaper times 30, ship credits 33 million, and enhanced droids times 40. Scoundrel Faction Pack and Mega Pack. The Scoundrel Faction Pack and Mega Pack are now available live for this credit heist and for all future credit heists. Pack contents: cards, 1 card shop, card 1 of the following, pretty much all the ones you need. Mega Pack contents: you get 6 shards, pretty much for all the same characters you need. Bonus shard card, 1 of the following. You can get a veteran smuggler Han or veteran smuggler Chewie. I wonder what the chances of getting those and those are. Let's see. Home 1, power up, home 1. Okay, so this is just basically Admiral's Rebel ship. The pack of ship blueprints is only available to players who have locked 6-star at home 1 via capital challenges. Each pack guarantees at least 10 blueprints for home 1 and may reward up to 100 blueprints. Same thing for executrix, same thing for endurance. Bugs, characters. Good lord, that's a lot of bugs. Characters: Barris Offrey, Swift Recovery, will no longer dispel debuffs when defeated by damage over time effects.
We don't have to read all the bug fixes.
Yeah, you can read the bugs yourself. Ships, gear.
There's a lot of bug fixes for characters and shit.
And then it says
fix BB-8?
No, there's nothing with BB-8.
Wow.
Yes! Great!
Night Sisters.
Interesting with all the locations. So TIE Reaper is light side 9B, so that means he shares a node with Shore Trooper. Kylo Ren is in light side 9A, so he shares the Command Shuttle shares a node with First Order Stormtrooper, and dark side 5D, which is the Millennium Falcon.
Nathaniel, I gotta read this stuff. Pax, it's important. Give me that blah blah plaques. We get it.
Dark side 5D, the Millennium Falcon shares a node with Rey. Okay. So I think they're all associated with their actual ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually. I like the way they did that.
Oh,
yeah, so I mean,
are they going to double drop those ships too, or is it just the Phoenix ships?
I think it's just
the Phoenix ships for starting this weekend, the 7th through the 9th. So it'll be Friday through Sunday. It's interesting that the cantinas will now have, you can get the ships in the cantina. I guess when they say cantina, they mean like the shard, cantina shard shop. Is that what they're saying?
Cantina shipment store. So it's the actual,
That's cool. I can start working on those ships. Yeah.
So I guess I'll stop Mob Enforcer and wait for Cassian.
Yeah, I'm stopping all my crap. Get those ships.
Well, so it's only going to be Cassian though.
Yeah.
So The other ones they said are going to be available in the cantina, but they called the whole kind of first screen the cantina.
Yeah, I'm assuming this cantina store. So
yeah, cantina store is just going to be Cassian U-wing. So I'm going to be saving up my currency now. No more Mob Enforcer.
Yeah, Hank Code 420 says like I don't have anything else to farm. Yes, I know.
Yeah, Krennic is a weird one. I saw that too. Krennic is on a node with Geonosian soldier ship. His is a little bit odd. I wonder if they're going to kind of redo that. But yeah, at least now they seem to be matching them up with one of the pilots at least. So that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
To go for.
Yeah, that's right. Say. More to farm. Say.
All right.
Wow.
So we covered the road ahead and a game update that should be going out soon, it looks like.
Yeah, probably. What do you think? Reset 1 o'clock. It'll hit.
So if they did it for us, thank you, CG, for putting out the update before the actual update goes out live so we can discuss it on the stream.
Yeah. I mean, some good stuff in there.
They did it for us, man.
Yes, that's
they
right.
never let us down.
Well, yeah.
We give them honest feedback. That's what we do.
That's right.
All right. So let's go to the Twitter responses.
All right. Ooh, Twitter responses. Very nice. Let's do it.
All right. So the question was, Thrawn's ship is making Mace as useless and SWGOH as blank. So
afraid.
Stephen Burgett wrote a Gear 12 Zeta cup.
That's pretty good.
So what would you call a Zeta cup? Like a Zup?
Zup. He wrote Zup.
Z cup. Z cup of poo.
Fatality V2 wrote as useless as a chocolate fire guard.
A chocolate what?
A chocolate fire guard.
Wow.
You're basically just making s'mores. Okay. All right. The late picks wrote platoon bonuses from platoons with Millennium Falcon in it.
Wow.
So true though. So true. Although now it's changing.
I just wanted to say, I think one of the streams before, Ranger, you mentioned that, or I think Warrior mentioned it, right? That he had one of his buddies drop how much money to get a
30,000.
Yeah.
He's probably needs a lot of alcohol right now and hugs.
And he barely got it unlocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Wow. Continuing. Sanely Red wrote as useless as the Galactic Republic tag. Oh, this one is relevant. KP67s, who was donating the $2 to Ranger repeatedly with Empire wins in Galactic War, wrote as useless as Ranger's liver after a Saturday stream.
You guys hate my liver.
Keyboard wrote as useless as an empty can of juice.
That is pretty useless.
And lastly, Grim wrote as useless as a Millennium Falcon without a Han and Chewie. It glares at CG.
It's our ship. Chewie. Wow. Great responses, guys. Thank you for all those who participated. Fun stuff. Now let's get into the questions. Let's do rapid fire because
all right.
Wow,
we'll try to go
a lot of
through questions as quickly as possible. And if I missed your questions, I'm sorry. We had a lot to go through. I tried to collect as many as I could find. So let's go ahead and start. So I guess I'll take this first one because I think I may be the only one that plays. So Stonewall was asking, how do you think they will choose guild versus guild battles? Would it be the same as Clash of Clans? So Clash of Clans has an interesting setup. Essentially, it'll be based on, they use town hall levels as kind of your progression of your roster. So in this game, the equivalent would be galactic power. So if they match you up with some kind of tiering system with galactic power, and then the secondary would be based on how many wins and stuff you have. So if it's an automatic and not a you challenge somebody system, I think that would be a pretty good system to use. It just depends on what your rewards are. So the rewards can be higher with different tiers. So if you're in like I'll just generalize it to say like a 130 to 150 plus galactic power for your guild tier. In that case, you should have more rewards than somebody competing at the
Are you looking at chat? I mean, people are talking about my alcoholism.
Well,
some say I get mean, and the dark side is strong with them. Some say I'm sensitive. I mean, and sensitive.
And you start mentioning Mark Grace.
That's right. 19 home runs and 89 RBIs. I know I wouldn't want to face him.
Right. So, to wrap up that question, I think Clash of Clans has a really good system for their matchmaking. And it would be, I think, a good idea to emulate something similar to that for the purposes of this. So next one I'll throw at you, Loki. The question is from Linus Milius, and he asks, do you think that upcoming Guild Wars is good for the game? A lot of people left because how time-demanding TB was. Great triple question. The participation requirement, and that's going to be chaos.
I think if they keep it simple, well, I mean, nothing is simple, right, in territory battle or whatever, but if they do it where you just assign teams or factions or whatever you want to call it to each of the nodes, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I think that's pretty doable. I don't think defense is going to require a lot of time. What I envision the defense is going to be like it's going to be like platoons. So you just assign your team. And that's it. That's your defense platoon, right? Or whatever you want to call it. And then the battle itself, if they just keep it just like territory battle and maybe there's some coordination where it's like, hey, I see in their platoon they have a Rogue One team, right? So what counters a Rogue One team? And that's what I think as a guild you got to figure out. And, as long as they give you those guild management programs or whatever incentives that they were going to give us, I can totally see it happening, and I don't think it's going to really add to much more of the time we needed, I guess. And that's what I'm hoping for. So if they do it now the way territory battles is, then yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be pretty hectic and it's going to be pretty time consuming, but I'm hoping for the best that they release those tools that they promised us, and then they emulate the existing territory battle and they use the platoons like defense, and then we just do 6 battles, right? So we all do our combat missions, if you want to call it, but instead of facing PvE teams, we face the opposing guild's platoons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm going to ask this question because this was something that we were discussing on the RSG Discord, and I think I was discussing with Randolph Thrawn. But so I'll ask both of you, Ranger and Loki. One of the ideas in order to make it so territory battles wasn't as time consuming was, so for example, right now in phase 3, in the top territory, you need, 1 second. So in the top territory, you'll need, or in the middle, I mean, you need 3,500,000 plus galactic power for the first star. The next one you would need another 24 million. The next one you need a 37 million. In the bottom, it goes 3.5, then 18.9 almost, and 29.8 million. Instead of having 2 different territories, what if they combined it into 1 territory, made it 6 stars, and then just had it so once you figured out your platoons, everyone could just do their combat missions and then deploy, and the stars would basically automatically work out. So as you get 3.5 million the first time, you get 1 star. The next 3.5 million would get you the second star. The 18.9 million would get you the third. 24 million more, you get the fourth, and so on. So basically,
you're combining the 2 into
correct. So it's just
with
one
the same thing with the galactic power. I mean, you could do it that way. It'd be less time
Because isn't the
consuming.
ships like the easiest part of territory battles?
I
And it
mean,
seems like it's the most enjoyable because you just do it and you're done.
Yeah.
They really need to allocate more points to the ships, because I think even like some of my
Well, you get 3 stars automatically from it. How much more points you want them to allocate?
No. I mean, I want them to take points away from the middle and the bottom.
Oh, put more into
put them
ships.
up on the ships, because it's so heavily skewed to the ground units in the middle and the bottom that, you know, even our sister guilds that are like 70 million GP or 80 million GP, they're shooting the ship one way over the points needed. And they should really just allocate the points that way and move some of the points needed in the bottom and the middle.
I agree.
And throw them up into the ships, because everybody's overshooting the ships, for sure. I don't see anybody complaining about ships. It's the middle and the bottom. So...
So what do you think about combining it into just one territory then?
Well, we combine our powers.
That one's cool.
Captain Planet,
I like that
he's
suggestion.
our hero.
So if you're looking for something to make it less time-consuming CG, that may be a strategy. Just make it one territory, simplify everyone's lives. Then you can do a lot more with stuff outside if you really want to introduce something else. That's
Think of Voltron. Think of the 5 lions. Form, feet and legs. Form, arm, and I'll form the head. And then you form the legs and sword, and then it's game over.
All right. We can go around the corn here.
Oh, God.
Questions from Keyboard. So who out of all the Phoenix characters are you going to Zeta now that we have the news about it?
None.
Yeah, none. So I don't think we're...
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are touching our Zetas on Phoenix at this point. They're just not worth it.
The better Zetas you get.
So let's go with... So we got this next question answered in the time of the stream, so we'll go ahead and go to the question was about the rewards to Fleet Arena. I think we already got that. Yeah. So I'll ask you this one then, Ranger. Question is from Mortal Womprat. So assuming that they put together like a ship meta, so you can see the meta report for ships, his question is, will Chimera become an even bigger meta Pac-Man than Commander Luke?
Yes, it will. I mean, I'm looking at the stats on that ship. Look out. You're going to see nothing but... At least on ships, Darkseid will be pretty powerful. I mean, Executrix is pretty badass as it is if you have all the Darkseid ships. And I think that, yes, I think Chimera, or Chimera, as Granny would say, is going to be potent. It'd be a big-time gobbly-gobbly.
I love chimichurri sauce. It's great.
Can I get me a Bon burrito and a couple of cervezas, please? Well, of course, Mr. Grande. Right this way.
All right. So the next question I'll just answer really quickly. So the question is from Rohan Fej, and he is asking, do we think that only 7-star Rebel ships will be allowed in the Chimera event? There are only 6 Rebel ships, and one of them is a Cassian. So that was our guess. Turned out to be correct, so you will need Rebel ships. In terms of the 7-star, it's probably going to follow the same sequence as the legendary events. So 5 stars will get you the 5 stars, 6 will get you 6, 7 will get you 7. There are going to be the new events to get the 7-star of the capital ship, so make sure that you're ready for those. And yeah, so to answer your question, yes, you will need 7-star in order to get the 7-star. Next question, around the corn, Mortal Womprat asks, do emus taste good? We'll start with Loki.
Tastes like chicken.
Delicious, yes.
They make lots. They make lots
of kangaroo, but not emu.
They make lots of portions.
What's that arms dealer's name? He's got a funky name too. Isn't it emu too?
I have no idea.
All right. Okay, so then more of a question, that serious question for you, Loki, from Kaguru Syndicate. Question is, how cruel would it be if CG made Night Sisters a requirement, as they did with the Hoth brothers?
Oh, God.
I could, you know what? I could totally see them being required in a dark side territory battle like the Phoenix.
I hope not. I'll be so pissed if they do that. I'm tired of them making us have to farm these characters like this for groups of characters and that nowhere else in the game we would use them. But you got to have them, right? Like Phoenix or Resistance, you have to have a full Resistance team. You know, forcing players to farm stuff they don't want to farm. I don't care. I'm pretty sure the Night Sisters, even with the rework, are going to be okay. They're not going to be spectacular. But if you make people farm, you're going to start losing people if you keep this process up. That's just my thing. I mean, I'm getting tired of it. I really am. You know, it's ridiculous. I can see, what do you think, Loki? I definitely see Veers and Snowtrooper being as a requirement for certain battles. But, I mean, Would you pull out your hair?
I can totally see them doing Imperial Troopers. That's one of the required squads for a node. I can totally see them doing Night Sisters, and I can see them doing Sith. And Sith, I think, are going to be great in dark side territory battles. I
agree.
They're probably going to be the #1 faction. That's going to be your resistance team in dark side territory.
I'm with a Maul lead. Oh God.
I would think Nihilus lead with a Trooper.
You could do that.
I mean, you can probably run Zeta if you wanted to, but a lot of options. But I think Sith are going to dominate dark side territory battles for sure.
I agree.
But
quick
yes,
warning.
I can totally see him do the Night Sister thing for sure. So farm him.
So 2 things really quick. 1, there's a client restart. Number 2, I just realized this, and I'm glad that I checked on it. If you haven't completed all your BB-8 stuff, right, and you still have the 7-star left, you still get that icon there. There's currently an Omega event going on, so make sure that you do that before it goes away. There's like another 4 hours, I think, on mine. So if you haven't done it, make sure you do your Omega thing if it's being blocked by the BB-8 event thing, which is kind of annoying, but all right. So with that, next question. Well, next question, if you want to take it, Ranger.
Sure.
Question from Ballard says, how do you guys feel about CG listening to you and putting all the info hours before your live stream and giving you time to prepare?
Well,
all except the very end here.
They don't. I mean, some stuff we get ahead of time, but they don't send it directly. We pull this right from the forums. Are you kidding me? They don't send this to us. I mean, we're very reactionary in the case. So,
guys, come on, man. It's in our contract with CG. Come on.
What contract? What are you talking about? 20? Oh, is that how you got the 20,000K crystals? Wow, everything's starting to make sense
you
now.
You sold us out. So you joined RSG and then you sold us out. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Well, when I say CG, I mean Captain Grande Patron. So.
Oh yes.
Well,
no. For the record, we do not have an NDA with CG. They just love us. So we reciprocate.
I would love if they want us to put out this information every Wednesday, which would be more glad to do. Would be nice if we had a heads up.
We do it for free anyways.
But we will deal with what we got. They put it out, we'll read it out, we'll react to it. So, but we don't have any they don't send it to us ahead of time. So we react as soon as we see it. You're seeing it at the same time we are.
All right. Next question. Throw it over to Loki. So Dustin Tiny Rick asks, since First Order was needed for BB-8 and Night Sisters are getting reworked, what other Darkside faction do you anticipate being reworked in prep for upcoming Darkside territory battles? Do you think it's going to be Separatists or Sith?
Not Sith.
I think it's going to be Separatists. I also think it's going to be Geonosians too, because they changed the mugshot to the Geonosians. So they could be pretty damn good. I'm really hoping for Sunfac to be OP. I mean, seriously. I think we talked about it on the stream that he's got to have an irresistible dispel, on his basic, and his basic has to have 100% counter chance. That would make him so pretty awesome and helpful in territory battles. I think Geonosian Soldier, they should bump up his gains 50% turn meter to 100% turn meter. I mean, seriously, they need help, and they need to do that so they're viable in territory battles for us. So I'm rooting for Separatists and I'm rooting for Geonosians right now. I'd love to see bounty hunters. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Put Bosk in the game. My God.
Yeah, you want to talk about a useless
or Django?
Right now. I mean,
yeah, put Django. Put Bosk.
Hey, so I wanted to make a quick note with the client restart. My ship payout is actually in 20 minutes, and I already have the crystals showing, so I'm going to get crystals on my ship payout. I'm super excited.
And you just can't hide it.
Yeah, man, they're just
Why is it that every update that they put out during our stream somehow gets Loki more crystals?
Yeah, what the hell?
It's in my contract, so.
No, forgot.
And it is a good number of crystals, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like we're going to take ships a little bit more.
Again?
Yeah, we're going to have to start caring about ships. Oh, Lord.
I can't. Well, bright side is I'm on the same shard as mobile gamers. So
Mallory just put live naked girls privates. Hey.
Oh,
Mallory, guess what you get? Bad.
Hey guys, I apologize. I gotta jump off the stream now.
That's all right. Do your thing, man. We know.
Yeah, I'm in Boulder City. I made it, but I'm gonna go through a little town here called Searchlight, and it's a speed trap, and there's really no reception here, so I'm probably gonna drop off.
That's all right. Do your thing, Loki. We got this covered.
Yeah. Well, but thanks again, guys, and thanks to all the listeners. You know, it's been a fantastic stream again because they love us on Wednesdays, and we want to give you the love as well. So
there we go.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
all right.
it.
See you, Loki.
Don't choke on your crystals.
Thank you.
All right. So just quickly running through some of the updates. So they said that they were putting in crystals into Fleet. So rank 1 now gets 400, rank 2 gets 375, 3 gets 350, 4 gets 325, 5 gets 300, 6 to 10 gets 200, 11 through 20 gets 100, and then below 20 gets nothing. So you have that going on. In addition, if you go to your events screen, there is the new events for all the other capital ships. So if you look at it, in roughly 28 hours, you'll have access to Akbar, at least for me, because I'm on Eastern time. So it'll probably be 1 a.m. for me right now, 1 a.m. Not tomorrow, but the day after.
Yeah.
So it'll be for 28 hours for me is Home 1. Then in two days is going to be Endurance, and then in 3 days is going to be Executrix, and then in 4 days Chimera comes. So make sure you guys try to get those events done. Interestingly enough, they put Home 1, which is the one that you need for that, as the first one. So you don't have as much time to prepare for it as some of the other ones. So do what you can. And then all the other stuff is in the nodes, which I can't. Well, I can farm some of them now and try to get the ships. So
yeah, I'll get Ghosts and,
all right,
and stuff done, and then I'll have more than enough ships.
Yeah,
rocking and rolling, so it should be too bad.
All right. So next question is going to be from Shay.
Hey,
so
Shay.
he asks, do you think that CG is trying to weed out smaller guilds?
I think we've already discussed this.
This goes back to what they wrote.
That's what we already said about this. Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to weed out smaller guilds, but they don't like... I don't think it's a smaller guild thing. It's just they just like throwing chaos into guilds. I don't think it has to do anything with size. It's just chaos. You know what I'm saying? Because small guilds are going to exist no matter what. Because most of the time, those are players that just play for fun. They're not really interested in anything. So I don't see how they could weed them out. You know, other than make them just hate the game so much that they don't want to play, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it, because they might spend money eventually, or if they spend like $5 a month, you never know. That. I mean, that's $5 you don't have anymore. So I don't think that's their intent. They do like to throw a monkey wrench in now and then, and just really cause chaos with all the guilds with every event that they put out there. So, but trying to get rid of smaller guilds, no, I don't think so.
All right. So then the next question is Blake Ward. So he asks, who do you think are going to be the dark side, Captain Han, Solo, and Rolo for dark side territory battles?
I think it'll be interesting. I think there could be 2 new characters we haven't got before, so that's how you'll farm them there. They're probably pretty decent. It's just like they introduced Captain Han and Leia. I'm sure it'll be characters on the dark side that we haven't had before. And that's what I think. I don't know about you, Finn, but I think it'll be two new characters that you can get through the territory battles.
I think it will be 2, and if they tie it with the new movie, chances are it's going to be First Order. So I'm not expecting it to be on Hawk, honestly. I'm probably expecting this to be something more First Order related with the new movie as the dark side territory battle.
Right.
All right. Next question is from Wildson L. Center. And the question is, why doesn't TIE Fighter Pilot have an Imperial Trooper tag?
Because he's not an Imperial Trooper. I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I guess it's not just a regular trooper. So do you want to kind of explain?
Well, no. So stormtroopers Stormtroopers have their special. They're more like your grunts. Your pilots are something totally different. That's like the Navy, the Imperial Navy, and like the Imperial Army would be like your Shore Trooper, your Snow Trooper, your Death Troopers, and that kind of gets to your special ops and stuff like that. Your pilots are specifically for just flying or running the capital ships and stuff like that. There's like the Navy and the Army. Kind of think of it in like those terms. Pilots would be more in the Navy realm, and your troopers are your ground pounders.
All right. Next question is from Tom Gates, and he asks, do we know if dark side territory battles that was mentioned, will it have a different reward instead of Yoda?
Probably.
If it's going to be alternating, it's going to depend on how they implement it. If they implement it so it's alternating with the light side, chances are it's going to still be Yoda. It's going to be through the shard shop because they're not going to introduce another currency for a single one. If they run it kind of concurrently or something like that, then they may introduce a different character. There are going to be different rewards, I imagine, inside of territory battles, like we were mentioning with Rolo shards, for example. It's probably going to be something First Order related that you can get.
Foulball just says pilots are Air Force, not Navy. Damn, Ranger. No, pilots are Navy. They're called aircraft carriers, and that's where a lot of your jets come from, is the Navy. Yes, there's an Air Force. Yes, you can have your own Air Force. Pilots could be Air Force or Navy. I just use their Navy reference just to clarification because aircraft carrier, fighter jets, helicopters, all kinds of ships flying off there. Same thing in Star Wars. That's where I kind of get that from. But your Air Force reference is correct, too, because there are pilots in the Air Force as well. Hell, there's pilots in the Army for helicopters, so it gets weird.
All right. Next question from Dark Grape. The question is, who should be the next Zeta? So he has OG Han, Ezra, Old Ben for Arena, and no General Kenobi, but he's shifting to Rebel from Sith.
Okay.
So he wants to run Commander Luke lead with R2, Ezra, Xylo, and Nihilus. That's who he's running currently.
And he wants to add who? OG Han?
So he wants to know who to Zeta next. Should it be OG Han? Should it be Ezra? Or should it be Old Ben?
OG Han. You'll get the most bang for your buck with that one right there. I mean, Ezra's is nice, but I still would put OG Han. You'll get bang for your buck in territory battles and PvP.
100% agree. Next one is from Kaguru Syndicate. So he asks, can someone explain the dual shards? Like if I get one, do I get one of each or both or two? So he's referring to the light side battles, and I think there's the dark side battle too now with Rey, where you can get a character shard and a ship shard.
Yeah, you have a chance to get one or the other or both. That's all that means. You know, so you can get
they're all just independent chances of dropping. And I think this is the last question. Question's from Aunt Baru, and the question is, do we need 7-star home one for Thrawn's chimichanga?
Yes. That's why
only for the 7-star though.
Yeah, only for the 7-star. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about you guys. They're going to bring it back every month. If you don't get it this time, it's not that big a deal. You'll get it next time. You know, so don't stress too much about it.
We don't know if it's every month, but whenever it comes back.
Well, they said every month, right?
No.
The ship
they never
battles.
said any. It's
not Thrawn.
It's just
the ship battles will be a monthly thing. I read that.
Oh yes, the ship battles, but not the Thrawn. Correct.
The Thrawn ship will be for 7-star along with the other ones, right? Every month, but not the Thrawn event. That's a totally separate thing. So you got to make sure.
So the Thrawn legendary ship event isn't going to be every month, but you can get your other ones up.
You're welcome, Dark Rape. Get that. Get the damn OG Han. You'll really like him. I'm zating my Han next. He's really good. All right, is that all the questions? My gosh.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay.
Is it? Oh, is there more questions?
No, that's it for the questions. I'm gonna double check on the Thrawn thing just to double check that it's not gonna be every month.
That's because you have OCD. Believe me, Finn. You will believe me.
Yeah, so it's semi-unclear. Just to read back what it wrote. So it says so you have Chimera, which is going to be a legendary event. Then with this, the way they wrote this, with this edition, the other capital ships, Home One, Executrix, and Endurance, can all be leveled up to 7-star in a new event, Fleet Mastery. This event series will return monthly to give players a chance to earn blueprints to bring their capital ships to 7 stars. So the way they wrote it,
it's kind of
sounds like
ambiguous.
Home One, Executrix, and Endurance you can get monthly, to 7 stars. The legendary ship of Chimera, I would not expect it to be every month.
Huh, that's interesting. I don't agree with that. If you're going to break the other
because it's a legendary event, so
I don't care. I don't care. Once you do the first legendary event for a ship, so the other 3 you can get 7, like but then no, I'm talking about just for ships. I mean, it's, CG, what are you doing? All right, if you're going to allow players every month to get the other ship 7 stars, but not Chimera because you want to make it legendary, what? What the hell are you thinking?
How long are people going to have to wait for it?
Well, they can bring it back next month and it'll still be a legendary event. People can still get a shot at it. I mean, it's a ship. It's not a... oh, Lord in heaven. Well, I stand corrected. So, farm the hell out of your ghosts and crew and make sure you have your light side ships up. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Okay. All right, so we got that clarification. So, let's end the stream. We've been going on for almost 3 hours. A lot of information, but it was definitely worth it. Let me find the ending part. There we go. Why is that doing that? I have no idea. It's weird. The video was kind of cocked in the corner there. All right, so everybody in the chat, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Hope we covered all the latest information. We got a ton put out there, so you can check all these news and notes on the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes forums. Don't just take our words for it, even though we read them straight from the notes. So from all the ship notes. Oh, Talon's on it already. But appreciate all the support. If you want to support us some more, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you know, we're trying to get more subscribers. Like the content, that helps us tremendously. It helps the channel out tremendously. You know, let other people know with the videos and stuff. You know, share with your friends and stuff. That helps us. The more views, the better for us. If you'd like to donate and you're watching this after the stream is live, then you can go to the homepage on the YouTube channel and you can just support, you hit the button support our channel. You can donate there. Again, we use all the proceeds to upgrade everything and get better gear, and we're using the money to get our platform ready for Battlefront 2. So if you want to support us for Battlefront 2, that's the place to do it. And if you're not going to do it on the live streams, we're getting all that set up. So we're going to be doing Battlefront 2 along with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and all the other fun Star Wars stuff that's coming down the pipe. We may do some other fun stuff. Didn't have any guests tonight, so we don't have anything to pimp, which is kind of weird. It's the first time in a while we haven't had any guests on, Finn. We kind of went OG RSG here tonight.
Yeah, and just a couple of things to wrap up here. One thing, Censored Cactus is letting us know to make sure to check the achievements. There is something good about that. They mentioned they're adding new achievements if you 7-star Home 1, Executrix, and Chimera and Endurance. Mm-hmm. All of them give you 25 crystals and a Zeta mat.
So very nice.
7-star. Yep. So you have a Zeta mat coming with that. In addition, one of the requests from all of you guys is that we try and do a podcast, especially for our Saturday stream with the Jedi Academy. And so we're starting to try to do that. Part of the limitations is always going to be the space. So we put up the one from last week on SoundCloud. If you go onto the RSG Discord and you go into either the RSG Stuff channel and scroll up, or if you go down to the SWGOH chat and it's towards the bottom there, we have the audio version of last week's Jedi Academy.
There we go.
What we're hoping is that you guys can watch it and then let us know what you guys think about it. If we are to continue that, it is something that we would need to kind of invest a little bit of time and money into to make sure that we have the space and those kind of things, because we have 2-hour streams, so it's not easy to do a bunch of short ones.
No, it's not like we're a different platform, so doing that over is going to take a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So you guys
let us know what you guys think.
It's like, yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, you can see all the stuff for us here linked in the descriptions everywhere. You can check out all the usual guests we have on there. They're usually linked in the bottom as well. I think that's it, Finn. Anything else you want to add? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, that pretty much covers it.
All right. So on behalf of myself, Finity, Grande Patron, who couldn't be here because he can spend time with his family, you know, or he was in prison. We don't know. You know, I mean,
both.
He could have his privileges revoked. We'll verify that next week. And of course, Loki for being here. And of course, our guest Stu. And Stu's part of the Furnaces. You can check out some of those guys, Urban and them. I think we've got the Assassin Masters in there for the furnaces represented. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you everybody for the donation, especially you, Shay. We appreciate all the support. And I don't know if we'll have a Jedi Academy this week. Again, it's kind of up in the air. Probably we will. Make time for it. And then we'll have the RSG late night stream as well, this Saturday as well. The platform we're going to go to is 2 platforms for Battlefront 2. We're going to have Finn doing offline stuff that you can play with him on for the PC. We've already got the beta. He's already got that version ready to go. Next will be me sitting at the Battlefront platform for PlayStation 4. We will be going to a PlayStation 4. Sorry guys, unless we get like a $1 million in donations, it'll just be one. We picked out PlayStation because I can't do Xbox and PlayStation and PC. That's crazy. So awesome. Thank you guys for coming out. We're going to end the stream now, and we'll check you out Saturday for Jedi Academy. On behalf of myself and the crew, thanks for being here, especially the Loki who's out in the wilderness somewhere doing whatever he does, searchlight, cops. That's all I heard last. But you guys be safe, and we'll check you out next time.